you're like, what? There's just nothing happening. Anyway, all right. Yeah, welcome to Liquid versus Waska. I think we kind of echo what the panel talked about with these teams' power levels, that we feel like Liquid were impressive yesterday and Waska were more impressive in Group Stage 1 overall. But also probably fair to say that Waska did play better yesterday than the days before, as Yadomi should be okay here.
Yeah, trying to first blood an ogre is always a difficult task. Matthew's Dawnbreaker might be easier.
Oh, this is
it's gonna
bad
be
if he
close.
dies.
They got him. No TP, a first blood picked up. Yikes. That is rough for Waska.
This is very, very good news for Morphling, specifically because now he gets a way less contested first wave. And it's a big part of Enigma Dawn is the early pressure, but obviously Liquid are well aware now of the situation here. So look at this.
Yep,
there's no way they could have done
on
this. Sacred will deny one of them. This early pressure here is
and it's
strictly
Courier too.
possible because of that first blood. So already a nice beginning to the game here for Liquid. So yeah, we saw Liquid have a really strong 2-0 performance yesterday. Waska, I believe, lost 1 and 2, but did show some signs of life after 2 previous rough days. In Group Stage 1, they looked very good, but also always comes with the asterisk that half of the teams of that group stage are eliminated. So maybe a lot of the matches that they won or did well in were against inferior teams. Now you're facing the big boys. As for the draft here, I don't know how much you've played for Dawn. I've actually played it quite a bit. I think you mainly play it 3, right?
Yeah, but I have played it.
You have dabbled in it, okay. Because I think this had its time, and if we go back a year or two, I think it was played more as a 4 than even as a 3 for a little while in Pro Dota.
Yep.
This lane in particular, I think, has quite a bit of promise, but Morphling is a very good solution to it. What Enigma and Dawnbreaker do is they isolate and kill carries very effectively with Malefice plus the hammer, but Morph can get himself out, he can play on resources. Saberlight actually taking some serious damage here. Will be okay, I think. Oh, I don't know about cutting back through the ogre there.
Charges, that's what he's relying on. His shield crash is coming up. He's going to try and hop over, and the calling doesn't clip him fast enough, and the ignite is going to burn him out.
Ugh. Well, at least he didn't TP.
That is true.
So he can get back to lane, but yeah, that could have definitely gone better for him. Nice kill, though, for Waska. So the panel was talking about how do you build for Dawn. My favorite build back then was Greaves Eggs, the one Brian mentioned.
Yep.
I think nowadays maybe Solar Crest for your Muerta would be really nice under the condition that Ogre doesn't get a good enough start to reliably get it.
Sure.
So that would be one option. But the nice thing about Dawn Ags is it's a very powerful heal, it's global, and it also does decent damage, and it kind of just breaks up the fight. But it's also the only way you can itemize against this aggressively is by buying True Strike, which Morphling doesn't really like to do. So that Ags could come in very handy if he goes for that path. And I genuinely think there are some games on Dawn where you should buy it first item. Don't know if this is one of them, though.
Yeah, it feels like they've got a fair amount of damage to throw around without having to right-click the hero.
Right, if you were against 2 right-click cores, you know, it feels a lot better to just go that route.
Sure.
The thing about the Greaves, though, is that maybe Enigma wants to get that. I don't think that has been particularly popular, though. I think if you want to go Auras and Enigma, we generally see Boots of Bearing plus Pipe. So that does open the door for Dawn to go that for Waska if they want all of those things.
Yeah.
Another item that's great this game is Lotus Orb. So we can just keep talking about all the options he has, but you're playing for Dawn, you could buy whatever utility the team needs, I guess, in essence.
Cool. It's a hefty chunk of damage, a 5 stack of poison on him.
Yep.
This lane has not been fun for Matthew, starting from the get-go, but one thing I've noticed is that Mickey keeps on helping Insania harass Matthew, but more than that, when Insania pulls the easy camp, it's Mickey who will come over and bully out the Dawnbreaker so he doesn't interrupt the pull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely multiple things happening in this lane that are just a product of the first 10 seconds of the game. a lot of these things that Liquid are pulling off would have been very different if all heroes started in the lane in the beginning. Nice steal there from Matthew on the hammer. But when all that's said, Sacred's lane hasn't gone poorly. He's doing fine. He's 21 and 12 in the Enigma. Makes you wonder how well it could have gone if they started together, but that's always just going to be a wonder from here on out. D-ward from...
Oh, it doesn't even block the spawn.
Oh, dear.
So that is just a sentry ward entirely wasted.
And now he TP'd base, so... leaving the Enigma vulnerable once again, or just leaving the map open for Insania mid lane. He wants to come and help Nisha. Don't think he's going to find much success, though. Nisha on the level 5 Earth Spirit here against the Storm Spirit doesn't really seem killable. And we were both very impressed by Dark Mago yesterday, I think, on the Sand King. Storm, did he play that in the third? He played 2 Sand King games. Well, hang on.
Sacred in some trouble here.
Who's in trouble more?
Yeah, if he could trade out support for core, that'd be great for Liquid, but it requires Mickey to be able to keep up with Sacred, and he just can't do it. Had his treads coming in, if he had the treads, certainly would have had that kill.
Yeah. He's gonna... Oh, Sacred's letting him have a lot of Eidolons here.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot.
Hello? He gave him all 6? Why? It might not seem like that big of a deal, but that adds up.
Kickback, that's a nice move from Nisha. And he leaving up to his 2 supports to finish off the kill and help him now. Trying to roll away, but an interception from Matthew. He pops his magic wand charges, but now that his roll has been stopped, he has no way to be able to survive. Move from the carry is pretty interesting. Waska bringing their Muerta to this fight.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on that one.
Yeah, that was puzzling for me.
How do you interpret that image? Are they like, help? Or are they having a party?
I think they're happy to die. I think that it's one of those kind of characters, you know.
Got it. Yeah, this is what happens when your carry leaves. Now he's over-leveled by the opposition offlane. However,
apparently Waska are just wiping the floor over here on the Wisdom Rune. They will manage to steal that one.
This is not worth it for Liquid. Oh my god, they don't even
nice
get the kill.
Neutral deny. Nisha does get a good magnetize here. Matthew, he will be the first one to die. Magnetize does not get reset on these other heroes, so as Saberlight comes in, he doesn't find anybody low.
This is such a good sequence for Waska. Their carry died, but he died to neutrals. They stole the Wisdom Rune. Matthew traded for Earth Spirit. How much more are you going to win here? Storm Spirit got a ton of gold. He's so far ahead of everybody else on the Storm already. And as we established yesterday, Dark Mago was in form, so...
Everybody's fighting pre-level 6. This is so odd.
Yeah.
Rotations everywhere without ultimates.
And now Mickey just TP's back bot. This didn't really do anything. He just wasted time.
I guess they thought it was like, okay, if we kill the Muerta after she TP's out, like his game is ruined.
Yeah.
Invis Rune to refill Dark Mago's bottle.
I wonder what you go on Storm in this game when you're having that good of a game, because it's not a free game by any means for the Storm. You're playing against... Well, it's actually pretty free now that I look at it. It's freer than I thought at first glance. It's only really Earth Spirit. So maybe you can just go super aggro.
I would, yeah. I
Rush
think this
Orchid.
is a great Rush Orchid game, for sure. You're up against Pango, Morphling, Shadow Demon, Pugna. Like, you could just run this entire game with a fast Orchid. But no, he's going Kaya.
He's going Kaya. I think this is a game you could play without BKB entirely, perhaps. Maybe you need to get a like 4th or 5th item, but until then you could go Orchid, Kaya Sanj if you want. You can go Parasma. Just really focus on maximizing damage. I'm curious to see what his read is. So the Kaya first is pretty standard. It's like, it's the most flexible of all the choices because you can go all the build paths with this one. What if he finds Mickey in a weak point here? He's too tanky though. I don't think he can do this. He needs help. Dawn is coming.
Just use Waveform, so he's going to pop out. Try and kill him while Waveform is on cooldown, but no way. Not underneath the tier 2 tower.
I think he stole the creeps though. And they also deny their tower.
Well, Waska just finding little wins all over the place.
Yep. This is definitely looking very healthy for them. The only core who's not having the best of time in their team is Pyke, but it's a recoverable range. He has the same as Morphling. And the reason those two heroes have the same net worth is that they both made, in my opinion, just flat out bad moves. It's kind of unusual to see the Formware to come and contest the rune, and the Morph went through the gate to no avail, so... Maybe they had a... What's the opposite of a truce? When you, like, agree that we're gonna really fight.
First thing that came to mind was mutually assured destruction, but that's not. That would be a good...
Okay, nice jump in from Mago. Will block the roll, but Sacred can't quite reach the Malefice, and now Mago...
With the Saberlight chasing after him, he has one zip to be able to get away. After that, Nisha misses his Roland, but keeps up the Magnetize. Dawnbreaker is coming in. The Rolling Thunder is going to hit the Stormbeard one more time, but he got enough mana to be able to make another zip away. Now the Black Hole is controlling up the Earth Spirit, and the Magnetize stacks. Oh, we got Shadow Poison so many times, he popped. Saberlight is still going to die, it looks like, as the Fire Blast, and the final hits come in from Pake. So good rebuttal there from Waska. 2 for 2.
Box is just quietly killing everyone with poison.
Seriously, what?
If it wasn't for that, that would have been a great sequence for Waska, but yeah, Storm Spirit burned so much mana before that fight even began that he barely had anything in the tank, and Mago, considering he is the leader of the game, maybe not the best decision there. Box on the way out also going to make 2 additional stacks, which is nice, but not the best heroes for farming them. Pango can do it step by step, and obviously Morph with Vlads will eventually get it done, but we don't have these, like, true stack killers. Maybe he'll help them himself. I guess Earth Spirit plus Pango can get it done. Yeah, he's going to help them.
Pango deserves it. Okay. He's been running around trying to join in Liquid with all these kills and has been suffering farm-wise, so he kind of needs the boost, to be honest.
You deserve these Ancients because you tried.
Yeah. We should all give a little bit of grace to people who just try and fail, you know?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Or you still justify yourself that you deserve something, then. Just the moment you try, you deserve it. Ace for Nisha.
With a Blade Mail coming in, this is a window to do something.
Good timing. Something we haven't covered yet is Enigma in this game as a theoretical late gamer. There is no stun.
No.
Pierces him.
Lots of saves, but no stun to stop him, right?
And Sacred is going to do the standard drums into pipe here to ensure that you have the fighting chance in the mid game, but I would love to see him just go blink BKB after this and really try to become a game-winning factor. You're also playing together with the Storm, so eventually you will get Storm's Ags to pull heroes closer together. Maybe you find a moment of opportunity and you get a nice combo off.
Yudomi gets sandwiched a little bit here. Insania creeps up from behind. The gank from Liquid is successful in finding a kill. The Rolling Thunder to explore the jungle some more.
Yeah, that Rolling Thunder felt very unnecessary.
It did.
Maybe they thought there was backup there for the Ogre, but...
And frankly, it looks good for Waska on the map. They're pushing the mid tower. Bottom lane's being aggressively pushed in as well. Like, they got a lot for that Ogre kill.
For sure. They're under no real pressure right now, and I think if they make sure that all their heroes, all their cores scale, and they give Dawn some space, I don't really worry too much for them later in the game either. We already established it's a pretty good Storm game. There's no BKB counter for Enigma. So if you get to those points in time, I think your lineup just looks very strong on paper. You did mention there's the 2 saves that you have to deal with, but at the very least, the Muerta can kill through Pugna. The Storm does quite a lot of his damage through Pugna as well. So, I don't know. I'm kind of vibing with Waska's position here. As long as they can just keep farming up, building their lineup. Doesn't look all that bad. Nisha
Trying to jump Nisha, but that is a bold move. I guess with the Dawnbreaker ult, they thought they could really do it, but now this just means Matthew's in an awkward spot. He'll be killed for it. I feel like Earth Spirit is not an easy kill, almost ever. But they're going to try again. Calling immediately put out, but it's Sacred inside of the Calling, not Silence, that hits the Black Hole onto 2. And now Dark Mago keeps jumping for more. They're going to light up Boxy here with the Bloodlust. They have enough. Nice dead shot there. Rolling Thunder into the middle of them, but not much damage behind it. Very little threat coming from Saberlight. And how does Mago still have the mana, man? Jeez.
Does he have a regen rune?
He must have, right? Like, it feels like he's just been zipping all over the place.
Oh yeah, he had a regen rune.
Yeah, okay. Now it all makes sense.
And now a ton of what they did there makes even more sense, because I didn't like Mago's initial opening to that fight, nor his second go, but considering he has a regen rune, he can play overly aggressive because he's uncountered. And the second go, I think Liquid were not anticipating him to come back there.
Yeah.
And that was a massively important fight for Waska. That's a 3K win in that fight plus tower. And now, if nothing else, I think you can just chill. I don't see Liquid likely to put a ton of pressure on your heroes right now. Looks like Waska have the same read. They're going Midas on the Ogre. These heroes are going to get really big, and that is going to be a first item eggs here as well for Matthew on the menu. I don't know. I'm looking at a tough mid game for Liquid to approach. Enigma pipe drums, Ags halfway there for the Dawn. Yeah, Waska in any stalemate situation, I think, are just passively winning. They will find a pick here, though. A nice combination of Nisha and Mickey will take out Enigma, and that's a big kill. Very swift.
Boxy trying for more. The Rolling Thunder is going to be a little late here. Okay, he's got the Blink Dagger, that's why. So they'll chain up the stuns, and with the damage that Shadow Demon offers, think they get it? Maybe not. That is only 4 stacks of the Shadow Poison. Liquid, are they going to get punished for this one? Mago still has a decent amount of mana, but they have slipped away into the night. He does not know where they went.
Oh, he went Holy Locket, actually. He didn't go straight Ags. He went back for the Locket first.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Do you like that? I don't know if I like it.
I don't think I'm a fan, because I feel like most of the time Holy Locket is an inefficient item when you built it first.
It's good for Storm.
Yeah.
I guess. Giving him that burst of mana in the fight can be nice, but... This is a very different kind of game than the previous ones we saw, in my opinion.
How so? Because it still feels kind of back and forth.
Yeah, I guess just the nature of the lineups. I mean, it's almost exclusively different heroes, first of all.
Sure.
But also the underlying feeling of... I don't know, I just feel calm for Waska. I guess that's the thing. In the previous games, I didn't feel calm for either team. I thought it was like highly competitive and kind of stressful for both.
Yeah.
And that you constantly needed to do the right things. I think Waska's game plan right now just... I don't know, just looking at this, it just feels nice. Sometimes you get in game states where you as a team are just comfortable and you're like, yeah, we know what we need to do. And there's nothing better in Dota than not feeling pressure. Oh my god, that's almost tied to 2 bastards, I think.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe in carry Muerta?
Yes.
Okay. I don't, so maybe that's why.
Oh. And I do believe the Karen Muerta versus Morphling matchup is actually really interesting.
Yes, that one is definitely an interesting part of it for sure.
It's double-edged, which is what makes it so cool. Yes, Morphling in general is good against these... he's one of the few carries that can damage Muerta in her ult, but at the same time, Muerta, by virtue of doing magic damage, can kill more through his high armor. So the dynamic is really interesting.
Morphling also has like a fair amount of mobility, especially depending on what you can turn into. And Muerta is highly dependent on being able to kind of win the fight within that Pierce the Veil timing.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest reason I do not believe in Muerta carry for the most part. I just feel like it's too many teams are too good at playing around that.
The team I've seen on average be most successful with that hero is probably Extreme. And what I believe they made sure to pick with Muerta in, if not all games, then most of them was Mars.
Yeah, guaranteed hard catch.
Have something that contains the fight in an area where Muerta can just deliver. And the pseudo thing they have here that does that is Enigma.
Yep.
But it's under the condition that you hit a black hole, and on a high level of Dota, it's harder to hit 2 or 3 heroes. But if you do, by God, are they gonna die?
Oh yeah.
They are gonna die real fast in the black hole. Boxy, nice disruption, buying some time, but will not be able to hide from the more or less the entire enemy team up here. And the farm will commence. And now, that Ogre Midas, give it time cap. He'll get big.
Has been killed.
The last Midas game we saw from Ogre, I don't think we were casting that, but we didn't... Oh, we were, actually. We didn't really like it because he could have maybe bought some Force Staff or another utility item to really change the game. Once again, for me in this game state, I like the Midas on Ogre because it is so chill. Just Yadomi, go off, King, you know, get rich.
Radiant are scanning.
Didn't have that on my bingo
Dire's
chart.
bottom tower is under
Considering
attack.
saying, go off, King.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I live to surprise.
5,000 net worth lead. Waska are in a very good spot. They do still have plenty of time on this Aegis. On a Storm Spirit at that, you definitely want to be taking a fight, but
Are scanning.
Liquid are set up on a high ground. You're going to jump on
with
the
the
Boxy.
ward.
That is a perfect hero to jump on if they can kill him. He's already used the disruption on the Storm Spirit. No follow-up there from Liquid. They're hitting the back line of Waska. Hit a magnetize on him. Wait, Dark Mago got really low. Got off his BKB, lost his Aegis. So BKB and Aegis down. Nobody dead on Liquid yet. And the Rolling Thunder, oh, that's a really good hit. Hitting two of these heroes, chaining them up. The Storm Spirit gets chain stun, he's dead. Snapped by Boxy Thanos' fingers. Finished them off with the poison, and they get 2 kills plus the Aegis out of that. Liquid formulate a great team fight, it seems.
I have mixed feelings about this because I feel like this was a well-executed fight from Liquid, but I also can't help but feel like Waska kind of dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
Just did not get anything going. Dark Mago jumped 2,000 range ahead of his team. There's no follow-through. You never get to use the black hole. Nisha did a very good job isolating and keeping the Enigma out of the fight, but you can definitely play around that as Waska instead of just, you know, running your head against the wall in the Storm Spirit and dying twice there for no gain. They were in a strong position if they just played tight together and played around this aura the Enigma has and playing around the Dawn ulti, but instead, it gets kind of panicky. He jumped in on the Storm, the Dawn is ulting him after he dies. It's just like, it's a bit of a mess there.
He uses BKB on the first life.
Yes, BKB on the first life. And if you want to do that, fair enough, but then you're committed. Like, then your teammates better go for it, right? And then the fact that the Dawn ulti comes out when he's dying in BKB, I don't know. It's just not good enough. And Liquid will get a nice win out of that. Get this game back close to even. Morph is now ahead of the curve. Or ahead of the opponents at the very least. Don't know if he's ahead of the average Morph game of this tournament. This hero seems to be having a lot of very good games. Boxy tried to be cute. He'll be cute in the grave more than likely.
Honestly, though, denying an Arcane Rune away from a Storm Spirit might be worth it.
Oh yeah, he did get the deny. I actually thought he didn't. Okay, I mean, then he was cute. Good job, Boxy. Ooh, woo.
Dire's top tower is under
All right, there's another. Check another box on the bingo.
I mean, you said it yesterday. You planted it in my head. It's all
What?
your fault. You did.
When did I say ooh woo?
You did. You don't remember? You said it on cast.
I don't remember this.
You said it on cast and you actually forgot. Wow, it must be such a normal thing for you to say all the time if you don't think about it.
Oh,
Nice headshot.
he knows what you're up to. He knows. He's not going to get caught there.
Mickey, this is...
Saberlight, oh god, it's a hard hallway to navigate. Damage on damage coming out from this Muerta. Blows up the Morphling pretty easy.
This is... okay. Neither hero has... okay, now Nisha has more sticks.
Yeah.
So we'll get out. That's a good find, though. Very, very awkward place for Liquid's heroes to be at that point in time. And they couldn't stop the black hole in time, so Waska find themselves the best possible kill they could. And kind of get the game back under control. Now
Now he's going back for Orchid.
we didn't really talk that much about that Storm buying BKB, because we had the angle that he didn't even need it. But he went Kaya BKB, which is pretty standard against a lot of lineups. Why do you think he did that here? Is the Pango that big of a concern? Is it the Earth Spirit Silence that big of a concern that you need to do that to protect yourself?
I think because Saberlight went Blink Dagger and Orchid, the BKB is going to pay off.
Oh,
Nisha! Oh, he activates his BKB. Good thing, too. Mass Ignite's coming in.
Yeah.
And Yudomi level 12 with the Midas. Oh, brother. Brother, no. Don't take my hard camp.
Pyke, please.
I just want
Oh,
to get
if
the
Storm
triple.
kills the other hard, you see, Yudomi pinged it.
Don't you take this from me. I'll never bloodlust you.
Oh, yeah.
2x, all right. Not a 3x, but still respectable.
What are the odds again? He has more chance of 2x than anything else, right?
Yes.
75%. So
30% for 3x.
yeah.
Top lane. Pick off the Dawnbreaker. Hero that likes to play alone because you can ult in, but hey, great for Matthew. He gets ganked, who cares? He bought out his Aghanim Scepter.
Yep.
So this 4-position Dawnbreaker is coming online. Now the Holy Locket is going to look a whole lot better.
Yeah. He's strong. The Dawn is going to be a very powerful hero for the foreseeable future in this game. Just one of the best counter initiators you can have in all of Dota when you have the Ags. It's so easy. One of your cores get jumped, pop that ult, hold it as long as you like. When you see the right opportunity to land, you land and you crash and you break. You even stun them through BKB, which could become a setup for Enigma to find a black hole afterwards, as Sacred does have the dagger and half the BKB.
Now that said, it's not guaranteed that the hero that you're ulting on is going to live. Just because, again, we said the evasion may not be that much of a factor. Conda is done for the Morphling. And then we've got just a bunch of other magic damage they're going to be throwing around.
It still heals a bunch.
True.
And they do not have any anti-healing on the side of Liquid. We've seen Saberlight go a decent amount of Vessels on Pango, but not in this game. Which, I mean, makes sense. There's nothing inherently strong that you want to counter except the potential Dawn Ags, but you don't even know if he's going to buy it, so... Itemize the other way around.
Talking about like 110 something heal per pulse. It's pretty good. This is 90 plus the 25%.
Yeah. Yeah, roughly. And it lasts for how many seconds is it? If you channel it fully? Why does it not say that? It just says bonus airtime 3.5 when you have Ags. And the base airtime is it like 2? 1.7. So this is 5 seconds. So it's like a 550 heal-ish, or 600, on top of evasion. And at any given point in time, that's what makes it so strong, is that you can land early. Yeah. It's just a very nice tool. All right, big moment here, Liquid. Looking to contest this 27-minute Roche.
Break and Eidolons immediately spot. They move right. It's Waska on the left. I don't know if they moved right intentionally because they had a ward there, I'm guessing.
This is such a long respawn. It seems they're here for no reason, but they don't know.
Yeah.
This could get really awkward. I mean, this could just be a standoff for the next minute and a half.
We could have a whole team fight and respawn before Roshan.
I think the creeps in...
Objective.
Imagine if the creeps just went back home at some point. They're just like, why are we doing this? We're fighting for nothing. All right, Saberlight's in.
Yeah, if you see the Muerta and Chain Stunner inside the pit, that doesn't seem too bad. Now the Dawnbreaker ult comes in, though. BKB has gone out from the 2 cores of Waska. Liquid is trying to retreat. They got the black hole and the 2 supports, though. Really good setup. The Magnetize still going on these heroes, and Morphling's going to go in. They see now Pyke, who's without his ultimate. The Conda hit isn't enough, and he heals up a good amount thanks to the Holy Locket heal, but it's not enough to save him. The Magnetize just keeps on going. Waska are still ticking out to this, and Mickey, he wants to take advantage of it. He spots Mago. He could kill him, but he's in the trees now. Now that he's already used his nuke.
Good
nice disruption from Boxy, bailing out Mickey. Mickey has a chance, throws out a dead shot. It hits Mago. Mago's going to die to the demonic purge. Saberlight, meanwhile, somehow got himself stuck. Spots Matthew, gets him with the swashbuckle. Liquid off of buybacks will be able to clean up this fight.
That is a much better result for them than I expected. Now, unfortunately for them, Roche is still not up. So they actually can't even kill what they came for. It's spawning in 15 seconds, and I think at that point it might be a little bit too late. So they'll have to settle for a nice small victory, I suppose, considering the 2 buybacks they had to use. The Nisha one is expensive.
Is under attack.
They might still get Roche just because they're going to see it. And then Waska probably do that thing like, oh, Roshan's probably about to die. We're not going to contest.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like you're right. Oh, never mind. It looks like you're wrong.
Oh, this is a bold move. Fighting into this Aegis.
Oh, they dropped.
They already used the black hole earlier. They're going to get the Rolling Thunder off. Dark Mago zipping in. The Muerta has been targeted. Hit a couple times. BKB goes off. And then now they try and reset. Once again, trying to dodge away from this ultimate as often as possible. Glimmer Cape put on to save Pike. Oh, that Dawnbreaker ultimate. It couldn't save him. Mickey might get stunned up by it, but that's all it's going to do. It's certainly not saving the carry. More, it might not save Dark Mago's life either. Magnetize finally wears thin. Mickey is going to jump after them. So will Saberlight. Can they actually catch up to these heroes? Got an Orchid on the Storm Spirit. He's running so fast with the Bloodlust. They won't catch up to him. Might be able to slow down Sacred. No, he blinks away. Everyone else is out. But the carry of Waska dies twice.
Yeah, trades off for the dieback on the Earth Spirit though, so kind of even-ish, but I still think Liquid are happy with that. Especially given the fact that they keep pushing up here, and Mickey, of course, with the Aegis feels very strong. And that was a great example of the Conda that you talked about, of how that is a good tool against the Muerta. As soon as the BKB was down, Mickey just assassinated him, and it was difficult for the Dawn to keep Pike alive. So the question is what he's going to do about it. Looks like he'll buy the item that he was named after by his parents. He almost has it completed in 200 gold. Then we'll see.
You think his middle name is Hurricane? That'd be a sick middle name, though.
What do you think his favorite song is?
Here I am.
There you go. All right.
Nice.
Rock you like a hurricane. Do you think Pike sings like that?
I mean, if you're singing that song, you definitely sing that.
Everybody sings that song like that. All right, Pike complete, and he is eyeing up a Daedalus. So not really deviating at all. I suppose, I mean, what options do you have against the Morph?
Yeah, you don't. Just kind of do your builds, and it's more about play and counterplay than trying to counter with items.
Is there a world where Lincoln's is good against the Morph for the Muerta? Because you don't want to... I guess, does he need to morph into anyone? I guess he would like to morph into Ogre to give himself Bloodlust.
Yeah. I would argue morphing into Enigma isn't that bad. Like, just throw down Midnight Calls.
Yeah. But yeah, since there's nobody he really needs to or absolutely wants to morph into, he could just break Lincolns with that, I guess. So maybe it's not that great. Pharasma completed for Dark Mago, so big damage increase on the side of Waska coming out. Also, the BKB on Enigma will make things easier for them. But so far, Liquid have shown an ability to deal with this pressure in the fights.
Yeah, well, the Black Hole has managed to catch like 2 heroes at a time. I feel like it's never been 2 cores. They caught 2 supports, but like the cores all spend, they're such mobile cores. It's very unlikely they're in the same area at once. Especially given the fact that very oftentimes they're scattering because of the Muerta ult that gets used.
Yeah, ideally for Waska, the way a fight breaks out is that Storm jumps a key target that needs help. And that's when your follow-through can come. That's when you break formation, Enigma finds a 2-man black hole, you have Dawn ulti on that, and you pop Pierce the Veil and you just kill everyone. But Liquid have done a pretty good job not letting that happen. Nice find here onto the Enigma, no chance. Maybe they could have saved him with a Dawn ulti well-timed there, but that would have been a tall order. He needs to land the stun at the perfect time to allow the Enigma to get the BKB off there. So nice assassination there from them, and they will take the mid tower in a moment when the backdoor drops.
More mobility for Liquid as well, and Sania picks up a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, interesting choice on the Pugna. We haven't seen too many of those. Do they have... I mean, they do have Lads on the Morph, so I guess he doesn't want to buy that. I wouldn't have minded a Solar Crest. Wonder why he doesn't want to buy that item this game. I guess just the types of damage that the enemy team has makes it less appealing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's very, very, like, you can't really defensively decrepify in this game.
But it's like, so isn't Solar still nice to just put on the Morph for the bonuses, even if the barrier isn't that great?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the value proposition gets too bad.
I mean, I have to imagine, I feel like the Blink Dagger is probably more about just...
Oh, Nisha, immediate punish. He missed the roll.
That's what happens when you miss your roll and you don't use BKB. We saw it last series. We're seeing it this series. Mago, he's used most of his mana. So he doesn't have that much to be able to catch these heroes. I think Liquid will be able to get out unscathed outside of Nisha. But Waska strike back, get some farm for themselves.
And Yodomi forced out the BKB from the Morphling there as well. Mike was scared of a multicast Fire Blast setting up a death on him, so he had to defensively use that to get out of there. And now that's down to 8 seconds. That was his reveal of the BKB. What a shame to have to use the long one for that. But if the alternative is death, of course, it's a no-brainer.
Daedalus is going to be coming in for the Muerta. Unfortunately, that Gunslinger talent is now a 25 talent, so we still have 5 more levels until you get that big bonus. Looks like he's looking at Swift Blink. I know a lot of Muertas like at some point getting Refresher, right?
Yeah.
For double ults.
I think he'll get it next after the Swift Blink.
Yeah.
Be my guess, but...
I mean, it sounds pretty sick. Swift Blink in, pop BKB, Pierce the Veil, go to town.
He just needs anything to start the fight. And so far in the game, it's obviously the Storm doing it. And in some of the situations, Pyke doesn't really get in range. When he has that Blink, that's going to be absolutely no problem for him to connect to the play. I'm really surprised Mickey is this far ahead on CS. I know some of them are Eidolons, but how is he 200 ahead of the Muerta in efficiency? Muerta can farm pretty fast, actually.
Yeah,
with the Maelstrom Gunslinger.
Just as long as you turn on your Gunslinger.
Oh, no.
No. He has.
I know.
Don't worry.
I know. That's just, it makes me sad every time I think about it. Not really that sad. It's kind of funny, actually. You know what? I take it back. Haha. Everything available. Is anyone interested in some aggression? Doesn't seem like it for now. Do we have anything big on the docket that is the reason that they're waiting here? So Ogre just finished his Lotus Orb, and he will keep getting bigger and bigger. Enigma is going Shadow Blade over Refresher or Octarine. Interesting.
I could dig it. Better opportunity for black holes.
Yeah, I guess it protects him from being the primary target. If he's just hidden when the fight begins. I feel like most players would go Octarine here, though. See if it pays off. Definitely a little bit of an odd one.
Got some tier 4s to pick up. There's the Blink. There's the Satanic.
Nice Satanic from Mickey. Yeah, he's big. That's for sure. Probably not going to kill him easily without killing either his team or getting him in the black hole with Boxy accounted for. Even has the ninja gear freshly picked up. Pyke will get Mindbreaker. That is really good on Muerta. It's incredible. Magic attack damage. And
oh, Nisha caught again. Another time where these multicast stuns, he does have 3x multicast or level 3 multicast, so if you get fire blasted, it might be a lot for a long time.
If you see how fast they kill the Earth Spirit, you can imagine that the Morphling is vulnerable.
Yeah.
It is definitely possible. That was an Earth Spirit kill in just a Storm into Ogre combo. Of course, there was no save nearby. If there's a Glimmer Cape, if there's a Decrepify, if there's a Disruption, all of these things can make a big difference. But in that instance, none of them were nearby. Saberlight will also be fortunate enough to find a Mindbreaker. I didn't know you can choose neutral items while paused. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the one thing you can do in the game, right? You can't do anything else when you're paused with your hero.
I think it's the same thing as like how very occasionally there will be like a blink that happens during a pause because of like the 0.1.
Oh, you mean like, yeah, the one frame?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they fix that at any point?
I don't know. But I
Dire's
assume
bottom
it's
tower
that's what allows you to be able to pick your neutral item.
Yeah, you're probably right. 1 minute until Roche. Waska are setting up. This will be tight.
If Liquid wants to get him back, they could push bottom lane, but you don't have your Earth Spirit. It's dangerous out there. I guess you could illusion push it.
It's okay.
Dire
I think Waska should just give up this tower. I actually don't think it holds much value anymore, and controlling and staying in the Roche area is way, way, way more valuable. 30 seconds away from Roche spawn. And the reason I said it's close is that if they don't scout it on the dot and get to work, it will head to the Radiant side. They gotta kill it relatively quickly. If this ends up crossing to the bottom area, I think Liquid might almost just get it for free.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the combination of like having to go through the gate and going to the enemy side of the map where they have their outpost to TP onto through buybacks.
They have Eidolons in there. They would kill it really, really fast with Pyke if he's bloodlusted. Muerta can kill this super quickly, and they are banking on it.
Yeah, they're banking on it.
They'll get it,
They're
too.
gonna get it. They're gonna get it.
25 seconds must be enough.
If he feels like he really needs to, he can pop Pierce the Veil.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my god.
Woo! Throw in some Storm Spirit shard in there too. Those Muerta hits are just raw magic.
It's so fun how Roshan underwent this like big change of becoming much harder to kill because he scales better and has way more armor. And then Muerta just shows up as a magic damage carry and it's like it was never patched.
Yeah.
This is like the easiest Roche ever for that hero.
Yeah.
Just obliterates him.
Okay, so Aeon Disc. There's... I thought he already had the Blink Dagger. Either way, don't know what's going on with Liquid. Aghanim Scepter for the Earth Spirit. Does Nisha have that coming to him? I think so. He does. He does. So that is interesting because they have more saves against the Black Hole, right? They already have Disruption. Decrepify isn't really a save this game, but they have Disruption. Now they're going to have Earth Spirit where you can turn to stone.
It's just not the best cast range, right? How long cast range is that again?
Yeah, it's...
500? I guess if they're on your side of the black hole, you can reach. But if they're close to Enigma, you probably can't, actually. Petrify them. And even if you do, it lasts for... Is it 2.4 seconds on allies? I guess it's half the black hole you outlast. So it's kind of like a disruption. I guess it's decent. But it is also one of those really dangerous plays where if you need to roll to do it, you need to be careful how you roll. Like your angling it can be a little bit iffy, especially if Enigma eventually gets an Ags himself, but that is not in Sacred's plans at all. He's actually looking at a Shard or a Ghost Scepter for himself. The Ghost Scepter would be kind of interesting.
And Refresher is next for Muerta. So,
yeah,
kind of the stock standard build for Muertas everywhere. Scythe of Ice on the Dawnbreaker. Ooh. Didn't notice that was being built up.
Yep. And now he's going to go Dagger next. Yeah, Dawn will ever so quietly, if nothing is happening. This is one of the 4s that will just farm the fastest. You can just spell farm every camp. Your spells have low cooldown as long as you have the mono regen, you'll get there.
And soon he's going to have the extra radius on the Solar Guardian. Makes it really big. Oh, instantly silence Boxy! Oh, the neutral items! Those damn neutral items. They'll get you. They'll get you.
That is the most ridiculous way to die. You can just see he just panicked. Like he just blinked and he's like, why am I silenced? And then, yeah, Muerta shoots fast. Your cast animation is too long on SD apparently.
I mean, honestly, that might be good for Liquid because if they actually set up on a disruption, try and do something there, all Waska was there. Rolling Thunder goes out. Dawnbreaker ultimate. They're gonna black hole the Pango and. Yeah, they kill him pretty quickly. The Aeon Disc does go off. It's going to wear out now, but Saberlight is back to the base. Dawnbreaker is instantly going to die. Dark Mago couldn't finish him off, but the Earth Spirit certainly will die. And Pyke is going for it. Mickey is going to wait for him through, trying to take it anyway. Throws his own calling down, and it looks like with a dead shot on the Muerta, they bring him down once. Can they do it a second time? They're going to deal with other these backline heroes. What about the Muerta, though? 4 snaps up to the high ground, find Sacred, lose sight of him. A Shadow Poison might have just landed. Pike gets hit by a big Conda hit. A dead shot strikes him as well. No way he's making out of this one. Oh, with the swashbuckle, it hit him, but it doesn't finish him off. Sacred, he lives on a sliver 2 different times.
Nice fight from Liquid. That Aeon Disc activation was perfect.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. What? Oh. No TP. Nice.
All right, I was about to say that was a nice fight for Liquid. Now it's twice as good after that kill. He had a gem. So that's a really, really big win that Mago was farming there and they find an extra. And yeah, you get the nice black hole on the Pango, but Saberlight assembled the Aeon Disc when he was low, and he outlasts the black hole. You're gonna see the replay here. It looked like Sacred was hoping to also catch Nisha, but didn't manage, and this Aeon Disc, so important. He gets out, gets the reset. Matthew has already come in. But at the same time, maybe also a little bit disconnected from the side of Waska here. The Storm was kind of late to the fight. You could argue that the Dawn ulti wasn't necessary even.
Yeah.
So
did Nisha not get off his BKB in that fight again?
Good question. I didn't notice.
Because I can't imagine that he used it before.
This is going really fast though. This siege, the Storm Death is
30
so
seconds.
crippling.
Oh man.
Mickey is more or less maxed out, so he will take complete advantage of this mistake of Mago.
This game was even. But if Liquid can get full out megas off of just one death, that is gonna hurt. But BKB was forced, and I believe Liquid, yeah, they're gonna have to back out now. So they leave it 1 lane of barracks. Waska still very recoverable. Sacred's chasing after them right now with his invisibility. There are a lot of grouped up heroes. Oh, if he doesn't have Black Hole, but he's just trying to stop them from going too far. A disruption, a blink away. Now they got the grab onto the Morphling. What a sick grab from Dark Mago.
Oh, no buyback.
No buyback from the enemy carry.
Uh-oh.
Waska
don't know this though, I think.
Yeah, they have to go deal with their lanes.
Sacred had 2-second cooldown on Black Hole there.
Oh, he was so
That could have been so much better, but still a nice find in the Hex reveal there from Dark Mago. I was gonna say makes up for his previous mistake, but I'll say that when they get 2 lanes of barracks off of this kill, then we can call it even. But Sacred had to go back to defend, so now the Black Hole is not even into play.
Saberlight's gonna cut the wave at top, so if they manage to kill this wave...
Would have much preferred the Dawnbreaker going back to defend. I wonder if he had cooldown on TP. That's what Dawn is so good at, is splitting away and doing extra tasks that kind of just need to be taken care of. Really good at folding laundry.
True. Decrepifying the Muerta doesn't do anything, right? She attacks through it.
Can she still hit buildings?
I assume so.
All right. Who cares about backdoor protection when you have Bloodlust?
I guess so.
Pew, pew, pew.
Alright, they're gonna glyph. The barracks is gonna heal up a bit. They have a siege wagon that comes in. Backdoor protection's gone for a little bit.
Yeah, there's Matthew. So now he's
They'll
back.
finish off that building. Now try and get away.
Okay. So that one morph kill gives them a lane. And, I mean, still anyone's game. Look at that, though. Insania finished a Wind Waker on the 5 Pugna. Wow. So now he also has a save against Black Hole. It's starting to... The saves are starting to mount. And now his dagger is twice as good.
I mean, at this point, I feel like you need the save for Nisha, man.
What sound do you think he made? He looked like he made the sound of like when you were... I don't know if I can make that loud enough for the mic to pick it up.
The lip pop.
Yeah.
Let's just keep trying and hope that the audience can hear us.
Yeah, they can hear all of them. They're just like, shut up.
Double damage.
There you go. Oh, I mean, I'm hearing all of them, Cap. Okay, that's 15 of them. You got another left in you? Thank you. Love it. The last one was the best one.
Yeah, level 25 Storm Spirit. Almost level 25 on the Muerta. Then we can finally get that Gunslinger chance.
25 Pango as well. Saberlight has actually found some nice levels. He will, okay.
Won't matter. Cooldown reduction. Eontis goes off. He's going to try.
Get off the Malefice.
Get the Rolling Thunder. Whoa, the silence was coming in.
Dangerously close from Saberlight. Will escape though. Close call. Now only a 50-second cooldown here on the ulti, courtesy of his 25 talent, so... Yeah, this Storm 25 is nasty. That 25, the overload bounce also works on your shard fully, right?
Yeah.
That with Muerta is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a mess. It feels like it just all comes down to initiation.
It really does.
Either side could win. I think it's... I feel like Waska controls their fate more. As in, like, if they get the right initiation, they will win the fight. And I feel like there's less that Liquid can do to counterplay it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt for the last 20 minutes. But Liquid have arguably just probably played a bit better in some of the situations. So I definitely don't want to count them out just yet. But the Muerta 25 will be big. Matthew, by the way, almost has a refresher now on the Dawn. So a secondary Dawn ulti, a secondary Hex will be very, very valuable for them if he gets there. But looks like maybe they're just going to go high ground now. Not sure I agree with this. You have 5k dead gold on your Dawn. You don't have Aegis.
Trying to blow up, but the black hole catches two! A beautiful bait there. Sacred immediately pounces on that one. Now they are going to buy back. It looks like the Shadow Demon's in some trouble. Bailed out. Nisha is still alive through his BKB. Pyke finally does go down. Mickey's able to finish him off. Is Pyke going to buy back for this one? Doesn't look like it. They're calling it quits on it, trying to get out as many heroes as they can. It's going to be 3 that end up going down on Waska, Pyke, Sacred, and Yodomi.
Yeah, that's just... It's a good black hole, but one of them is going to get saved by the disruption for a long time. And you are... These fights are on borrowed time. When black hole expires, when the ulti of Muerta expires, and when the Dawn ulti has been expended, you've kind of used your combo. So while that did look good, I questioned their choice of forcing high ground here without an Aegis. They had good map control. Waska could have waited. Roche is spawning in 30 seconds now instead. You're going to have to burn all your buybacks to defend your base. And if anything goes wrong now, you just lose the game instead of just maintaining map control and getting that extra advantage that I feel like most teams would have waited for. There's the Ogre buyback.
It's going to go first.
Mickey doesn't care. He's not going to die to these heroes yet. All right.
Jump out, grab 2. Dawnbreaker ultimate inbound, but a disruption save. Nisha turns himself to stone. He's good for now. Rolling Thunder tries to catch Dark Mago. He zips away just ahead of Saberlight. Saberlight will try and disrupt to some of these heroes inside the base while they go for Megas. Mickey committing. 18 seconds left on the Muerta. Mickey looks like he has plenty of time to finish this off. The glyph has been used, though. It stalls up a little bit more, and they're not sure if they can really commit to this. They're going to back out 1 building shy of Megas. But they don't want to risk throwing the team fight. They go back for Roshan now.
If they get the Roche, this is the difference, right? This could have been Waska's decision to make.
Yeah.
And instead it's Liquid that recognize the risks of the high ground and what can go wrong, and they make the, in my opinion, correct play. To take the win that's guaranteed, not risk the collateral, and now the black hole is so much worse.
Yeah. I mean, the refresher is cool on Liquid, but God, it would have been so good on Waska, right?
Yep.
Double Pierce the Veil, potentially double Black Hole. Like, one of those two is going to be potentially game-winning.
Yeah, Muerta does have her own, so she probably wouldn't have needed it, but it would have been very nice on Sacred. Okay, in we go.
Got the scythe, but immediate saves. They jump to the back line. The Storm Spirit's going after them. Pyke is being kited around. Rolling Thunder just into the Storm Spirit, and Mickey immediately pounces on that one. They take out Matthew as well, and Pyke just cannot hit these heroes. He's being kited around too much. Now the Rolling Thunder hits them. Once again, the Rolling Thunder hits, the stun lands, and then Mickey follows up for the kill. Disruption on Sacred to make sure he's not getting away. Oh, maybe he does. Blinks up to the high ground, goes for a TP out. The stun, it doesn't arrive in time. Oh, just so close to catching him, but He manages to get out. Yadomi trying to get away off his neutral item, but this one will be stopped.
And he does not have buyback on the Ogre, so that's 2 minutes. And Dark Mago used his on the Storm. It's just another example of, I think Waska they're playing too stressed, in my opinion. Just very much rushing headfirst in there on the Storm against a team that has Aegis and Cheese. You don't get the BKB Black Hole off at all. As soon as the fight becomes fragmented and things aren't kept together, the more spread it is, the better it is for Liquid, because then your Morphling isn't dying, your Pango isn't dying, you keep doing this like chip damage, and the strong combo that the enemy team is threatening you with isn't going to come into effect. Now Mickey with this amplified damage rune will probably deliver the killing blow on this game number 1.
The buyback from the Muerta, it's all up to Sacred. He's got double Black Hole.
It's just so hard to find.
It's gonna be impossible. Oh, okay!
This is what
there
can
goes
happen
the
when they get it
Morphling
together.
Are they gonna Black Hole off of that? They are not.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pyke does have his refresher ready to go for a second Pierce the Veil. If Sacred finds an opening with his invisibility, he's trying to find it. Looks like he's just going to lay it down on Nisha. There's the first Black Hole. Disruption goes out and they back away. Once again, the save is there. A Wind Waker put out. He's getting out. Refresher. Wait, no, stun. Mickey's in trouble. Mickey's Satanic healing up. He's going to be okay. Meanwhile, Sacred, he could not get off his second Black Hole, but he does have a buyback to play with. He's going to try for it. Mickey getting a grab onto the Storm Spirit. His own grab. Electric Vortex pulls him back in to his doom. A Black Hole is used, but for what? For what, I say? Everyone is dead on the side of Waska. Sacred was the last one remaining, and Liquid will close it out with 5 heroes inside of Waska's base.
Yeah, they make the right adjustment.
Still going. Dang. All right, I'm pumped up.
And I caught him between that and then the horn right after. That's good. That's the stuff.
Thank you very much, production.
Enough.
Lovely. The panel seemed really pessimistic about Waska's lineup here, Cinderin. Are you in agreement here? Do you think they drafted some dog shit?
I'm a bit concerned with their ability to structure fights. I think that's the biggest issue I have. I think the lanes themselves are going to be fine. I think some of the stuff that seems to be good in this patch with multiple tanky cores, you've got that covered, so that's also fine. But the issue that I see is, how do you enable your Dawnbreaker to really play aggressively when your only catch is a mid-Dragon Knight? And on the flip side, the way Team Liquid's lineup works, this looks like an insane Storm game. It also looks like an insane Timber game simultaneously. So I just think even if the lanes go well for Waska, I think they need to outplay Liquid. For me, strategically, the bases are just really nicely covered for Liquid's side with the core-to-core matchups. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm as pessimistic as the panel were, but it's definitely an uphill battle for the Radiant, I think is fair to say.
Okay. Well, a reminder, everybody, for what is at stake here at DreamLeague. Both these teams are 1 and 3.
Radiant's courier.
Pretty much the top 3 spots are already taken by the 4 and 1 teams of BetBoom, Parivision, and Spirit. It's Falcons who are 3 and 2. So if you want a chance to tie with them, you kind of need Falcons to lose at least. They need to lose 1 more series, if not 2. If you were to lose this and go down to the 1 and 4 territory, you're pretty much out.
It's highly unlikely that top 4 don't have positive scores.
Yeah.
So one of the 4-1 teams could easily end 4-3. I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility, because maybe they have some tough matchups left, or they have a bad series against one of the weaker teams, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons' last matchup is against Spirit, so it is not a free win by any stretch of the
Absolutely not.
So.
And it isn't for either team. So, that could also be one of Spirit's 2 potential losses that puts them on 4 and 3.
Right.
So I think a 4 and 3 score, in my opinion, is actually quite likely netting you a tie for 4th.
Yep.
It's not getting you through, though. You will almost guaranteed have to play tiebreaker. Right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Liquid have to win this series and an additional 2 just for a chance.
Yes.
So it's definitely a lot to go, and it's similar for Waska. They're in the same position with their 1 and 3. looking at it mainly from Liquid's perspective because they're up 1-0 in this series and overall seem to be doing a little bit better. But if Waska could somehow claw their way back into this series by winning this game, then it's really anyone's series after that.
Absolutely, and that would give them momentum because they also have a date with Falcons tomorrow. So they could be the team that contributes to Falcons, you know, falling in their score and increasing the chances of being able to have that tiebreaker for that 4th place slot. But as it is, it does look like you are right about the lanes. Dawnbreaker is the one having the most problems, but the DK is doing the best. All in all, things seem pretty even. Oh, maybe
doing
Pike.
too hot either.
Yeah, he does still have a mango, and he is does have an Enchantress in his lane. He's going to kill a courier.
He's out of
Going
resources.
for the Lotus. Saberlight is going to try and kill him, but he activates the mango. Now he's got a Lotus, and it's way too efficient. For a Medusa, you heal up the HP, you heal up the mana. Yeah, you're perfectly fine at that point.
What do you think about Saberlight?
This Whirling Death is going to do a lot.
This is a pretty unusual Timber skill build nowadays. He's 1-0-2. It's the old school build of maxing armor. Usually Timbers nowadays don't even skill armor in the first 4 levels in lane. They'll just go 2-2-0. But I guess since he's playing against 2 ranged heroes who can only really right-click him for harassment, he just feels like he can do whatever he wants like this. And I mean, this is a pretty good showcase of what the build can do here.
Yeah, Pike is being zoned out
him
of a wave and a half that is dying under tower. It's going to be 2 waves. Ooh, man. And Saberlight's going to go back at it. He just had some items delivered on the courier. Dead shot almost landing on a Pike.
If that would have hit, he could have died.
Oh, you know he's going to be very high level, I guess.
Saber isn't letting him come to level.
He's never going to get back. He's going to get... Okay, red some mangoes.
Okay, so...
But now he's get dead shot. He's still not getting any of this CS.
If you're going to spend this many resources on keeping your Medusa alive, you're just bleeding net worth, right?
Yeah.
This is actually them spending gold to keep Pike alive. And okay, he got 2 CS here, so that will pay for 1 of the mangoes. But the 10 CS here. Saberlight, of course, is also sacrificing himself. That's worth keeping in mind. It's not like Timber Saw is free farming when he's doing that. This is not possible. I don't know how that's 1.4k.
What?
What did Boxy buy? He bought 7 Ofrendas on discount for 200 each. It was a value pack.
Yeah, you told me he would, if he hadn't spent that he would have 2,400 net worth right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was, but anyway, they're definitely paying a lot on the side of Waska to even keep this bottom lane afloat. And on the other side of the map, Liquid are not struggling whatsoever to get Mickey off the ground. 30 CS for him to the 15 of Medusa. Mid lane looks like a pretty even matchup between Storm and DK. DK can get a little bit of a lead here with the Breathe Fire if you've got good timing for some big denies. But as is the traditional case with Dragon Knight, if your opponent isn't a melee hero, you're mostly drawing or winning slightly, but you're never dominating. So Nisha will also have a game here.
One thing it's not a requirement by any means, but I do feel like a lot better about Shadow Fiend carry if I have even just a single hero that buffs them up in some ways, right? Ogre, Invoker, like something like that. That is something that Liquid is missing, but they can spread their damage out between their 2 other cores, and they were 4-position Huerta, which we saw last series, what that can do. Insania on the run here. Shadow Poison, it lands a 4th time. Not enough damage, though. It was close.
Where are you going?
Just throw a blood grenade at him for good measure.
Oh, Boxy, that's TP's not going to make it, and there's your first blood. Dark Mago picks it up.
Yeah, double support rotation here. Try to get a little bit of advantage of these early aggressive supports that Waska can run here in this game.
And with an Enchantress Dragon Knight, you start getting any kills, there is a threat that your tower just falls over.
In the meantime, despite leaving Sacred alone up top, he's doing a good job at boxing out this Shadow Fiend plus Clock. Seeing him give him the Saberlight treatment on Mickey.
Oh, what? How was the battery assault?
How did the battery assault not stop that? Was he... Huh?
That's a strange manner of
Was he in fog?
I have
As
no
he was
idea
swinging?
how he
That was really weird.
got
But
that
nice
bird
kill.
swinging, but yeah. Very nice.
Keep your hands to yourself.
So both offlaners pulling the run it enemy carry and
Yeah.
zone them out.
You can see Saberlight, he's not going to get a third point in reactive armor. He just needed it for the early laning. Now he's got 1, 2, 2, so starting to max out the chain. And the lane will get trickier and trickier for Medusa as Timbersaw gains levels. Level 6 Timber is when this can get tricky. You just keep spamming the Medusa out. Eventually she will run out of mana, as long as you have enough for yourself. Sacred level 6 on the Dawn. See if they have any ideas.
Yeah, that is what may keep the Medusa able to play this lane.
Yeah.
Is the potential of some sort of Dawnbreaker turnaround if Nova extension occurs.
Nisha bad luck on the rune. It's being covered by Ench. And we'll go to Dark Mago if they want to. Nah, whatever. He already used Dragon Form, so doesn't care so much about the Arcane Rune. We'll just keep pushing this tower. Nisha can't really stop Dark Mago that easily. The 2 Bracer plus Treads and Raindrop is way too much for Storm to deal with.
Be pretty difficult for these supports to be able to lend a hand to, especially with Waska moving this duo around of the Shadow Demon Enchantress. They're going to catch Yudomi here, so they have the damage. Trying to push him into the calling. Here comes that Dawnbreaker ult, though. Dead shot immediately. Zip in. Insania is fighting for his life, and he will lose that life. Nisha's trying to get a return kill, and they will get that. Both 5 positions will fall.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And in the meantime, we're barely playing Dota bottom.
Yep.
As I was saying, Timber can eventually get through Medusa, but he needs to commit his entire laning to do that. And it looks like Saberlight is happier to find extra farm, as he's now going to open up this hard camp.
That's a strange.
Do you like the sound of Timber walking?
I can't say I've ever thought about it.
It's got this, like, waddle.
I mean, the visual, sure. I can barely hear him walking.
I have super ears.
Sacred still caught inside the cogs. Disruption, but he's coming back into a Requiem. He is dead, and the others are going to be feared back from being able to get revenge. At least not right away. Dark Mago with the Blink Dagger does hit Nisha, but they go for the punish on Dark Mago, and with the Timbersaw in the midst, they certainly have the damage. That Strength Hero, not so tanky when the offlaner of Liquid joins the fight.
And that's such a big moment to miss for the Dragon Knight. You bought the Blink first, you immediately die using it, and you were the top net worth hero by a decent margin right before this move, but that was an instantly backfire play. Saberlight ready to turn it around on its head immediately. And Pyke also went top lane through the gate and didn't even make it to the fight, had to TP back to bottom, so he just wasted time for nothing. And Liquid with the gold lead for the first time this game, and starting to... I want to say, if this Dragon Knight BK or Dragon Knight Dagger does not pay off in the next 5 to 10 minutes, he's going to lose the lead that he built. But who does he play with? I think that's, again, that's a bit of a problem here, right? We talked about that he is the one play that Dawnbreaker has. But aside from that, there's no, like, damage. There's not a lion that's just going to kill in the Dragon Tail, or an active carry that's going to show up.
An Enchantress with levels of impetus, then maybe you would have some damage, but nobody does that.
No.
So
I actually think that's the biggest problem for Waska in the coming 20 minutes, is how does they kill anything?
Yeah.
I look at Liquid's hero and I see Liquid's heroes and I see tons of damage and nice combos. You know, hook shot into Timbersaw burst. Storm can kill with anyone. Shadow Fiend can kill with any one of them.
Dire are
And
scanning.
Waska will be, I think,
reactive, right?
I think Sacred has to go hard right click on Dawn this game if this is going to make any sense. If he starts going defensive auras, it's just not going to cut it. Looks like a Blade Mail for now. That's fine. It's also a farming item on Dawn. It helps you. You're spending a lot of time in the jungle, so the Blade Mail amps up your speed there. It's nice stats. It's good when you enter the fight.
Hey,
it's
great
nice
against if you're going to be fighting into Timbersaw, right? Like
Timber NSF.
yeah, you
It's good. Hook shot off the mark.
All right, so that blade mail is done.
But what do you think he should buy next? I think he should go something like, I don't know, Deso BKB? Like really hardcore carry style? Deso BKB AC or something.
BKB is pretty interesting because if the Dragon Knight can get the initiation on Storm Spirit or SF, the BKB would allow the Dawnbreaker to commit on especially the SF, right? It's like, oh, even if the, Mickey BKBs Requiems or something, like the Dawnbreaker could just sit there slamming him over and over again.
Yeah. I don't know. If he doesn't go Deso, then maybe Echo into Harpoon? I don't know. I'm definitely looking at an aggressive build out of Sacred. If he starts going defensive items, if he goes Pipe, I lose a lot of faith in the victory here for them.
Yeah.
We'll see. He hasn't decided yet. Nothing is purchased. Nothing is even in the quick buy. So maybe weighing his options.
So Waska, we're kind of expecting them to be playing a slower game, more spread out, more farm heavy, more reactive.
Yeah.
Liquid are going to be the ones hunting, and that's exactly what they're doing with this smoke gank. Catching Pike. Now, he does get off the stone case. That gives him an opportunity to get back to the tier 2. And the hook shot goes through him. Disruption before he can get off the
cog him in.
He is going to be able to cog him in. Dawnbreaker ultimate. Oh, Nisha was able to jump away. Still has a hammer on him, and he doesn't have much mana to work with. Sacred, he's trying to get him. Does manage to hit him with the stun, but now Big Bad Mickey is here, and they start backing away. The one hit is all it takes to bring down the Dawnbreaker. Mickey, can he help Saberlight? Saberlight needs some help. Mago's looking for a stun here. Requiem being threatened. If they round this corner, Mickey's going to let it loose. And Saberlight's not sure if he wants to go in off of that one. Now he's going to be caught. Mickey's like, well, I used my fear for you, man. That was supposed to be a way for you to get out, not go in.
I think Saberlight just popped everything on an illusion. Wasn't that what happened?
Yeah.
They Requiem and he was like, oh, there's a guy next to the trees. And I think he laughed it off afterwards. I think I saw on the player cam, he was just chuckling to himself like, what am I doing? Well, I feel like Waska got more than they bargained for there, so that's good news for them. That Timbersaw kill was absolutely not going to happen unless they gave it to them. Well, Insania, nice catch.
But the hammer was out, so he gets out of the cog, still pushed back in by Nisha. That blade mail doing a lot of hurt to Nisha. Nisha actually, he's in danger of dying to Sacred. Got hit by the, oh yeah, he's dead. Blade mail, too powerful.
Similar to the last game compared to yesterday, just feels like neither team really acing it today.
No.
It's not a straight A day for these teams. You see here, yeah, he's popping everything on that illusion. He killed it good though.
He did. That kill,
got him.
That kill has pushed Dark Mago to an Orchid. So there is a big upgrade in your kill factor, right?
Yeah, that helps a lot. Now, Liquid are playing without save. So if you blink Dragon Tail Orchid the Storm, there's a moment of opportunity here where you definitely have kill potential together with the Dawn coming in. I guess later down the line, it'll also be very nice for them to have a Bloodthorn, considering the Tricore they're running, and Ench. It's a lot of heroes that will be hitting a good amount if he wants to upgrade it later. True. But yeah, this is the moment in the game, considering the lineups, where I would love to see Dark Mago take initiative every single time they have the Solar Guardian. Let's get something done. There it is, Nisha.
There's the Orchid.
Yeah, nice kill.
He's going to walk out, but of course the damage is already done. Doesn't even need Sacred, really.
And they take the tower, too.
So the numbers come in, they'll take the tower. And Nisha, now knowing about that Orchid, he is going to be a ways away from BKB.
I love that smoke.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's on top of a ward, but I really like it conceptually. That they take that mid tower and they immediately recognize, all right, with Storm out of the picture. Oh, they still find him despite that smoke being spotted.
Boxy
was not expecting.
The tier 2 and tier 3 instantly. Boxy pings it. He's like, okay, I know what you did there.
Yeah, they thought, I think Liquid expected him to go off to the right with the smoke. The heroes on the right-hand side of the map were playing very defensively, and Boxy was behind that tower, but yeah, that ward also being placed here. Nice sequence from Waska, double warding mid. So Liquid now will think there's no vision here, but there's a second one. They are not going to go hunting for this. It's pretty uncharacteristic to ward that heavily around the mid area this early in the game. They even have the one on the cliff here too. Just very, very heavy warding. They'll find 2 of them though.
Really big swing. Waska, like, they get the kill on Nisha, then they get the kill on Boxy, they take the mid tower, now they've taken the top tower, all off of this one initial timing from the Orchid. So.
Yeah, that's paid off big time.
Yeah. It's pushing Mago to, like, already he's a third of the way through to BKB, which is great for him. But Nisha, is Nisha a little frustrated with this game? He has a Midas queued up.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, if he wants to prolong the time that Orchid is effective against him, he could go Midas.
I mean, if you want to rate these teams as not playing on their A game so far today, I'm pretty sure Midas is a straight F.
Cogs push back, instant stun Orchid. The Requiem goes out though, and he's got a Kaya Sanj, so this Timber Saw is pretty tanky. Mickey's laying in the damage and disruption to try and buy a little time. The Stone Gaze also, Dawnbreaker ult, lots and lots of saves. Liquid struggling to be able to finish off any of these heroes, though they have put Waska on the run. Boxy's gonna get burnt down into a Chris under the river. Timber Chain away once again. This Timber Saw getting low. Liquid have run out of resources, and Waska look for the hunt. Dark
Missed the
Mago.
chain.
Dark Mago, he's gonna hit his Orchid, and he's gonna blink after this Timber Saw, trying to get the Cogs push away. It doesn't land onto anything. They get the Timber Saw as well.
Missing that chain is criminal there. It's just another kill that was completely unnecessary for Waska to get. They are really rolling here. And I want to point out a little fun detail in these fights that actually matters quite a lot. Dusa doesn't get slowed by Chakram, because it slows based on how much health you've lost. And Dusa never loses health. So Pyke is actually just navigating. He doesn't care that Timber's on him. He just walks away every time. And you're seeing how close Pyke... Look at his mana. Okay, this is the aftermath, but that's just the missed chain. But he roughly had this mana in the fight for a decent chunk of time, and Saberlight just can't stick on him. Just walks it off every time.
Yep.
Yeah, and understandably a bit frustrated with that miss. That is not ideal.
Well, this is why draft only takes you so far. Whether the draft is an advantage for Liquid or not, I think we can definitely say that Waska is playing better than Liquid in this game.
Yeah, I think just got to give credit where it's due, right? I genuinely still believe that the Radiant lineup is harder to play, but they're doing a lot of things right, and they're finding the initiative and they're itemizing to cover their bases and kind of solve problems, I guess. I think the Dragon Knight Orchid especially has been really instrumental in this game state.
Oh,
Nisha! Nisha too!
He was pretty deep there, wasn't he?
Oh boy.
Also, yeah, I was about to say, about to turn daytime too, so dangerous place to be with that passive. Well, when it comes to predictions on Galvanized stacks, Ted said 3.
And then
he's currently at 1.
And then he laughed because he knew it would be 1. He just wanted to be nice. How many do you start with? You don't start on 0, right?
It's when you level up that you get. When you level up Ball Lightning, you get 3 charges.
Yeah, so you start with 3. So this is worse than nothing.
Yes, he should have 6 right now if he has not been a part of any kills.
Oof. That's what I gotta say to that.
Yep, and there's the BKB for the Dragon Knight.
Yep. Definitely a strong timing right now coming in for the Waska side. See if they can put it to use. I still don't feel like it's in the bag, you know? Like it's a good lead, and it's definitely exactly what needed to happen for them to stand strong in this game, but the items and the way that they have won fights so far it's not going to last in the same way. Shadow Fiend is going to get really strong and be able to stand his ground and fight back. Your Orchid will eventually stop having the same impact that it's had so far when Nisha gets his next item, but of course, it's been super impactful so far. But Liquid can still get there if Waska slow down.
Let's put them in a 7,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, it's definitely very healthy. They will take more initiative. Love that.
Gotta keep up the pace.
Yep. Why not? It doesn't seem like Liquid are able to mount much of a defense in all of these fights when you are the ones initiating, so As long as you keep taking initiative, you make Dawnbreaker's game feel meaningful. And Dusa doesn't need to join a lot of these plays that they're making. So I really like this 4-man move and then just keep Pyke in the woods. I don't like that they're just running in circles, though. I feel like you got to commit to something. If that's not getting a kill, but just going somewhere to ward, that's also fine. But this kind of... the smoke is not really too useful at this rate.
I always feel like it's very obvious that the enemy team does not want to fight when you see the enemy Clockwork pushing in waves with battery assault. It's like, okay, they are full on, like, everybody find farm where you can and dodge fights if the Clockwork of all heroes is pushing out lanes.
Sacred completes his BKB after that Echo. So, once again, would love to see something offensive. He's queuing up the Basher as well as the Harpoon. And while that isn't the most DPS you can buy, at the very least, it is still playing into the idea of being a physical damage core, flat out.
Now he's changed it up to AC, so...
Yeah, I like that better. It's
No,
really
the
good for
Dragon Knight is also
Dusa.
thinking about AC, so...
Yeah, I think...
I feel like Dragon Knight should just
I'm
build
thinking,
damage at this point.
I'm thinking about who it's better to buy it on because of the SF matchup. Like, who needs the armor more?
I would say that the Dawnbreaker is the one committing to finish off the Shadow Fiend.
Yes.
In my game plan of how I envision, right? Dark Mago goes in, stuns the SF. You have the Dawnbreaker drop in. Dark Mago can back out or commit if he wants to, but it's the Dawnbreaker who's in melee range and hopes to stay in melee range with the Dawn.
Oh, we're just sieging now? Oh,
yeah, apparently we're just going for it. Rally. Get that extra damage with the Dragon Knight Enchantress. Again, your buildings are gonna fall. Yeah, Liquid have shown that they do not want to fight, and Waska says, okay, we're gonna try and make you fight. The creep wave does get caught in middle, though, and the glyph clears out the way. Backdoor protection is gonna come out soon. Not soon enough to save the tier 3.
I think not soon enough to save the range backs either. Pretty sure they have time for that. They do.
Oh! They got it, they got it, they got it. All right.
They can't take the melee, but... All right. Nice grab. It did take Waska quite a bit of time. This wasn't really a gold win, but getting Rax always nice.
He was just ahead of the disruption. Close call. Well, now the wave is coming, so Waska could keep this. I mean, Scotty, a big old Lotus. How are you going to fight that?
I still think they can with Mickey buying this Crystallis as well. He hits really hard now. This isn't outside of the realm of possibility, and Waska might be a little bit careful about hard committing if the enemy team is actually all in base. I wouldn't mind them just going to Roche, though, because then you're forcing Liquid's hand. Like, are you guys going to fight us or not? And Dawn doesn't even need to go there, so it's not like you're losing a ton of farm on the map because all 5 heroes are just hanging around the pit. Dawn can still play like nothing's happening, and then how much are you really committing? Well, all right. Big moment here with the smokes.
Radiant are scanning.
Liquid in this little crevice. They're hiding away in the corner.
They're spotted now. Dark Mago, he's the one to get the initiation. It's on a Timber Saw. Requiem goes out, and Dark Mago's already dead, and Sacred is taking a beating from Mickey. He gets away, activates his Blade Mail, trying to jump out. Insania is drawing the ire of Pyke, who now turns the attention over to these heroes. Now, Sacred is a little bit low. Insania is trying to make a run for it. Saberlight, can he finish off Sacred? No, BKB, TP out. He's fine. Mickey's the one pretty heavily committed. Deadshot goes out, pushes away the Medusa, trying to finish off Udomi. Can't get him. Saberlight does, but Mickey's going to die for it. He is fully committed, and he goes down.
That was really, really expensive for Waska. They better get something out of this. They bought back Dragon Knight and Shadow Demon to get 1 Shadow Fiend kill. But I think this is going to give them the melee Rex too. SF does not have buyback. This defense from Liquid is really difficult, but they're going to start going to work.
Going to be on Nisha, bouncing back and forth between the fountain.
Moxie?
That seems unlikely to
Middle barracks are under attack.
do enough damage. Oh,
Yeah, tried to cut the wave there. Did Insania. Not going to happen. And yeah, they will lose 1 lane. And okay, maybe you can keep going now. Now you also killed the clock. Now it's 5v3 for 30 seconds.
25 seconds left with the Timber Saw, perhaps in trouble. He is orchid it up.
They're just
He's dead.
bleeding heroes.
Oh dear, Liquid.
He has a buy. They have Glyph too. They're going to have to Glyph this tower now. And
Okay, so they will be able to fight for the second lane. if they want to blow the buyback, they can have a 5v5.
They cannot afford to get 2 lanes this early. They've got to fight for this. But I think Saberlight will wait with the buyback until the Clockwork Hookshot comes in. Or
It's going to be the initiation from the Storm Spirit. They go for the Dragonite. Here comes that ultimate from the Dawnbreaker. Hits the Timber Saw. Saberlight dying fast. That's going to be a dieback on him. And nobody dies in return from Waska. They hide behind their Medusa, who currently just cannot be challenged, though Mickey tries to. Gets Scottied, realizes this is a mistake. I don't want any of this.
Damn.
2 lanes it is, it seems. Cannot stop this Medusa.
I did not expect this turnaround from Waska after game 1. This is just a... I'm impressed. I like the early potential of their lineup, but I didn't think they were going to execute it this well based on the level we've seen from them recently.
Oh my God,
but
this pressure, man. They're just like, we are going to end the game. We are stronger than you right now. No backing up for Roshan. No farming another item.
And Nisha just never got off the ground this game.
No, he did not. He's still operating on 3 galvanized stacks. Hook shot onto the side. Went for the Shadow Demon, but Mickey. Waska were protecting their back line and immediately get the jump onto Mickey, and the fight's pretty much already over. I feel like maybe the game's over. If you don't have the Shadow Fiend, you don't have the damage. They're just going to take Megas. Unless Liquid put together a miracle where they haven't the last 3 engagements.
They cannot do this. They have no damage.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks.
All right, Waska. I see you.
They go for, instant Orchid. Man, Mago's so fast on that one. They are going to try and commit to finish off Sacred. That doesn't quite work. They don't get him. Saberlight now on the run. Sacred's going to TP out, and then he can ult back in if he needs to. Remember me, Saberlight? I'm back. Harpoons him back into his death. Another death for Liquid. It bought time for the Shadow Fiend, but it's a Shadow Fiend who hasn't hit a creep in like 3 minutes.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Mega's inbound. Liquid, they really got to try and fight this one. A pre-30-minute Megas. Stun onto Boxy with the Orchid. Not enough damage to fall through. And Mago does have to pop his BKB.
It was a little bit unclean here from Waska. Dragon Knight just initiating with no follow-through. Now Sacred's in an awkward spot.
Nice dead shot, pushing him back in. Okay. Nisha was keeping the rest of the team busy, though he's run out of mana for that fact. And here comes the Gorgon's Grasp. They try and give him a Force Staff to get away, but it doesn't make it. Requiem goes out a bit too late to save anybody there. Now trying to commit to kill Pyke. The Dawnbreaker is going to join in on this little show. Mickey having some problems with that one. Good Force Staff to get him away from the Starbreaker, but at the same time, they can't actually get out of the base. Dead shot pushes them back in, and looks like Waska finally gives up and says, okay.
Uh-oh.
Almost
That
spots
was
Matthew.
close. They see Matthew. They'll hit him.
And Matthew will be the one to die instead.
Well, they do hold on, and they get a couple of good kills, but they are mega at minute 29.
Yeah.
So, do you want to give your prediction for the graph? What do you think?
97-3.
Middle tower is under
I'm
attack.
gonna say 99. Let's see. Damn, look at you. Look at you. A veteran of the game. Actually, I wasn't even allowed to say 99. I would have had to say 100, right? Because we always need to be off by 3.
No, we don't have to follow that rule when it comes to like the 90,
No, you need to-
95 to 99 area.
Cap, you need to understand, you need to make rules like that because otherwise people just, I'll do one more than you.
Well, then
That was my son's fan
Then
voice,
I feel compelled not to say 97 because then that just kind of cheats you out of it, right?
It's called strategy.
Radiant's middle tower is under
You're just
attack.
smart.
Okay.
This is going to be a Liquid Rush. I was about to say this isn't over yet, but like, okay. It's technically not over, but man, you are in trouble.
Give it up your tier 4s so you can get it Aegis.
But yeah,
Dire's middle tower has
okay.
fallen.
Got him.
What are Waska... Okay, I think this is what's going to be interesting to see. How does Waska handle the next 5 minutes? Do they literally just hit creeps? Or do they go for the win? If they go for the win and they fail, then they're still fine, but...
Yeah, I feel like...
it's not an insurmountable lead in terms of the gold itself. I think Liquid's fighting strength is still kind of good enough.
But the advantage of Megas is that you have control of the entire
you can farm it.
map, and you can just out-farm your enemies. So if Waska wanted to secure this game, then it would be, farm for 5 minutes. Like, you could take the enemy Tormentor, and they can't do anything about that.
Yep. Nice little free shard for Sacred. He's going to be happy about that. It's a good one, the Dawn. And I think Liquid will be playing like this for the remainder of the game. 3 to 4 heroes in base, and then one person gets the luxury of going outside.
Which most likely is Nisha, because he has the most mobility, right?
Yeah, he's also... Still, he is kind of vulnerable if he gets jumped. He has to be a little bit careful.
Invisibility.
Make it gonna be happy to find that.
All right, if they farm for the next 3 minutes, what do you want to talk about?
I think we should talk about Pyrian Flax.
All right, shout out to Ted.
What do you think about his first date from earlier today?
Oh, it sounds pretty standard.
What do you think about the fact that he remembers his first date in great detail, but can't remember how he proposed? That's interesting.
Oh, man. You know what? It's just, it sounds like to me, Ted felt deeply in love. And
I think he just liked the movie.
He knew they were always going to get married, so, you know, like the actual moment of when you make that official and stuff, that's not as important as the feelings of when it first hit, you know?
I see. All right, that's it.
That's it.
You bring up the next topic. Your turn.
Yeah, we covered 45 seconds. Very good. Very good.
4,000
What do you think Shannon's doing right now?
What time is it?
It is 11:30 p.m., which means it is 2:30 p.m., I believe. So he should be awake.
He might be up.
He might be awake.
Yeah, he might be up.
Radiant are scanning.
Do you think he listens to these casts at all?
Dire are
No.
scanning.
Yeah.
I think he's extremely jealous and is crying into his pillow every night, but then he finds joy getting up and working on his video game.
Listening to 90s emo songs.
Oh yeah, that's if there's anything Shannon definitely listens to, it's that.
All right, another 45 seconds down. Very good.
Yeah, minute and a half left in the Aegis, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Liquid putting it to good use. They're storing it in the base together with their other Aegis. We should bring it back to the fountain to... has that been updated? Does it say their names?
Yeah, I haven't, it is. It does.
It does?
Yeah, it
doesn't it say the player names too?
Yeah, if you click on it,
Yeah?
you can click on it, and then you can hover over the Team Liquid.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we can brighten up and everything.
Very nice.
There's one person who only
And this is why they're world champions, because they never give up. Even in complete adversity, when everything looks like it's going to come crashing down. They won 10 games at TI just like this one.
Does this make Mickey the 2-time?
What?
You said 2 ages.
Oh. Wow. I'm struggling. Well, he can be 2-time for 30 seconds.
It's longer than Reddit gives you, usually.
That's true.
Win TI 30 seconds later. God, these guys are shit. Just give up already.
It's kind of crazy how... I mean, it's also not the same people every time, right? So it's easy to get the impression that it's the same people that cheer for you, and then when you lose your next tournament, they're like, wow, you were just lucky. You know, it's probably different people, but it is kind of funny to see just how consistently you need to constantly win tournaments. And then when you do win every tournament, then people call you boring.
True.
That was Gaming Gladiators. They were stomping people in 25 minutes. They were like playing super aggressive and active heavy, and they were boring because they won every game. And then Falcons were winning everything and playing really slow, and they were somehow also boring. So what's it gonna be? Well, it's gonna be a fight for Liquid, poking. And, okay, how did he end up out here?
I don't know. He didn't hook shot in. Must have jetpacked in. Went on a little flight.
It was a trap, though.
A buyback immediately from the Enchantress. So Waska, at least in some regards, want to try and end this game for Staff, trying to get him out of the Dawnbreaker ult, and it does so successfully. They need more of those. Stuns are coming in, but now he's on top of him. Another disruption going to be used, pulling him back. Does this actually get the SF away? He is back to the fountain. He is surviving. He will live, but his allies will not. It is Boxy who is dead. Nisha healing up in the fountain, a tier 4 about to die. Waska now have the Ancient exposed. There's still a glyph available, though. Start going for Pike. Not really a target you want to go for. Orchid stops Requiem. Immediate disruption going out. Orchid is going to go away. Forstaff gets him out. Requiem goes down, fearing all these heroes away. Saberlight going in. Saberlight's low. Now a Death Requiem, and now it's a GG. We are done with this game. Waska. Very clean game 2. What a way to bounce back from that game 1.
Yeah, and just to reiterate ourselves, I think you and I and the panel, none of us thought they were going to win with this draft. And they won in effectively 25 minutes. Took a little... Currently seeing an overview of the course, the green, the long, long fairway.
And of course, this course features quite a large water feature,
30 seconds.
running right down the middle of the course. Very interesting choice by the designer.
Course is, of course, a par 3. For no reason.
Okay.
The gentlemen are preparing for their first skirmish onto the course. So they're heading to the room. The horn is so stupid after that. Oh, well, 3 runes for the side of Waska. They get a little bit of a head start on the bounties. I actually kind of light speaking softly like that. I can see why people get into golf commentary. It's very calm.
Yeah.
And very, it was like a tranquil experience.
It is actually kind of the problem with starting a Dota cast. You know, it's like, the game's beginning, let's get into it. Holy shit, welcome everybody, we're into this game, and we're gonna watch the heroes walk out to lane. We're gonna...
Unlike in golf, where it's just constant hype.
No, I was more so saying compared to other esports, you know, where Counter-Strike, you just get straight into the pistol, you know, stuff like that. All right.
Well, now we have our pistol.
Yes.
The early
laning
laning
phase.
stage. Or more of a knife, if you want to call it that. So they don't have that many resources to work with just yet. The guns come out with more levels. I guess this is actually a gun round, but Insania only has the knife until he hits level 2.
Just swinging away. I'm gonna gut ya.
Yeah.
All right, lanes. Who's gonna win where? Predict it.
I think Liquid could actually win all 3 on paper. But not by a lot. I think the Tiny versus Pango one is pretty even, but Tiny has the potential to pull ahead.
Yeah, Nisha has won that
lane.
before. Boxy, one more hit from Yotomi. He's got him. That's first blood. Even if Saberlight gets this kill, which he will not.
Easiest
First
curse
blood
of
is
my life.
already taken. Yeah, wonderful job.
So the thing about the top lane is that Sand King isn't really threatened very much by DK and Disruptor, and you would think that Sand King plus Muerta eventually find an opening on the Disruptor, but somehow First Blood happens level 1 in favor of Yodomi, so really nicely done by Waska to get that going. And the bot lane, it's Ogre SF. This lane, it has been Liquid's best lane all tournament. So I'm kind of just assuming that they will win if they're not counterpicked, and in my mind, the Dawn Lion has the potential, and it's just up to Insania to reserve his Fire Blast. If he always has that ready when Mickey gets gone on by the Starbreaker, then he can cover him.
Yeah.
Either that, or he needs to be so much in the enemy's faces all the time that they can't go against it. That's the other option.
We already saw Dark Mago get rather low in the mid lane, though. He's healed up to full since then. Stinger! Taking that last hit. Yep.
Why do you think Waska rated Dragon Knight as a carry and not a mid this game? Because they last picked Pango. Was it just to be flexible? Oh, again!
Boxy.
Boxy, what is
aggro,
going on,
man.
my dude?
And Saberlight will take a quick pick stop for the Lotus. Why? I would say...
So
They needed
the
to-
Pango was 9th, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
10th, so they didn't know the matchup. Maybe that's all it was. They didn't want to get exploited on the Dragon Knight, maybe.
Money changes hands.
I would say they could use more team fight, right? Just in general, more go in against this SF. Something to close that gap, which worked really well for the Dawnbreaker DK last time. Now they're gonna have a Pango rolling on top of Mickey. I do like the fact that this time around Mickey does have a steroid in the Fire Blast this go around, but if you like the lanes for Team Liquid, which maybe it's not quite playing out that way, what about the overall game state? I'm looking at Waska, and I just see a lot of heroes that could get on top of SF, and that looks scary.
For sure. The one that's the most scary for SF probably to have play hyper aggro into is either the Pango or the Dawn. Dawn's lane, though, is not good. It's 27 and 29 and 7 against the 10 on Dawn.
Couple of blasts coming out. Mickey is getting low, and unfortunately, everyone, apologies, but we are going to have to take a pause here as we have a fire alarm in the studio, and that means we do need to evacuate. So we will unfortunately be putting the game on hold, and we will be back hopefully very soon.
Goodbye.
Nothing can hold us down. My heart is beating, waiting for the weekend. Nothing can hold us down. I can feel the rush. Here it comes. There's fire in your heart, yeah. Ready, set, here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I just can't get enough. I can't get enough. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Can you feel the rush? I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can feel the rush. Here it comes. There's fire in your heart, yeah. Ready, set, here we go.
Welcome back, everybody. Don't worry. False alarm. We're all good, and we should be able to resume the Liquid versus Waska Game 2 here very shortly. Syndrin, you okay?
Yeah, the fire alarm actually went off because Pyrian Flax was looking smoking in the background. Not actually smoking.
Too hot.
He just looked. He looked. Yeah, and the alarm was like, this can't be safe. But we got him under control. We got him to put his clothes back on and everything.
It's that chest hair, man. Once he took off his shirt, you know? Start a fire in here. All right. Hopefully we'll be getting into things soon. Because, all right.
We're being told
let
that
the players know.
the players know to go. So
I'm just waiting on
any second now. They say go when ready, and the other team says go, and that means go.
All right, let's get into it as
and
we
Mickey.
are back into Mickey almost dying. But
that was the shortest calm music I have ever heard. Miss it already. So, if you missed a beat, Waska are up 2-0. We got a couple of nice kills in that top lane, both of them on the Muerta of Boxy. And aside from that, the laning stage slightly Liquid favored, especially the bottom lane. They are pulling ahead by a meaningful amount as Dark Mago.
That crash landing, man.
Throwing
it's beginning to hurt. And of course, Nisha has no armor until he hits his level 6, so he also takes a quite hefty brunt of damage whenever he gets Swashbuckle Shield Crash. Glimpse back. Saberlight has Burrow Strike, but Dark Mago's joining in on this kill, and I think the damage is enough.
Yep.
Third kill
on that top lane.
We're just not letting have a Saberlight have
Dire's
fun.
middle tower is under attack.
That spray looks so cursed in the trees. Yes, the biggest hands ever. And, oh. Well, that perspective made it a bit awkward. Anyway.
Lotus Orb, 6-minute power runes. It was amp damage for Nisha, so watch out for this toss.
Yep.
He's now got Grow, increasing the toss damage by 50. He's got an amp damage, increasing the damage even more.
Oh, big damage here.
Ignite does hit Matthew. And he's going to TP out just for safety here.
He might have burnt down there, so we'll stay alive with this, but the problem is now Dawn is 1v2 in this lane for a bit. She's already not enjoying herself all that much, and against Ogre SF, she just can't be there on her own until line comes back, so she has to play very defensively, and that in turn means Mickey will get all the farm. But still, Waska, so far so good. The 1k lead, largely from the 3 kills and the 3 bounty runes. And it looks like as far as the wisdom runes go, that will be an even split.
Yeah, nobody getting super aggro in that regard. I'm still looking for these Pangoliers to make that play that we saw last time, where the Rolling Thunder timed as the Wisdom Rune spawns. I think that play is sick and pretty hard to counter. More people should put that into play. Boxy is gonna die again. The 3rd death for Boxy in this game.
Maybe a bit of, we haven't really talked about this, but this could be a familiarity factor. Maybe he's just not that used to playing against Disruptor right now in this patch or this meta, but he's definitely Oh, God, that was so close to getting that wrong, Nisha. I think he stopped mid-animation on his swing and then threw the tree.
Yeah.
And then he had to attack after and just barely got that last attack in. So close call, but we'll find the kill.
And using that amp damage to have some mid lane supremacy means that he might just chain this into another power rune, which he does, this time an arcane rune.
Be careful if you come back to mid right now on the Pango, into these 2 runes. Tiny wants to fight.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he will find an angle though. Actually
checking out for any stacks, not finding anything.
Alright. So they're going to give Boxy a little bit of space in mid and put Nisha to do a medium camp. Interesting choice. I'm not really sure how valuable those Marta levels are. Maybe they think they're going to make a big difference. I suppose when both of your supports are level 4, as Sania will now Feel the wrath of the Adomi.
Waska not messing around. Similar to Game 2, it feels like they're willing to bring superior numbers to early skirmishes.
And actually, I take it back. I'm generally a big fan of supports finding 6s in lanes if the early game goes poorly. It's just, I guess Muerta is one of the ones where it's less obvious just how good the level 6 will be in this game compared to, and for Ogre it's, I guess, even less, right?
Sure.
Their supports just don't benefit as much from 6 as, say, Disruptor or Lion, that you really want to get that 6 on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, Tiny's experience is gold on that hero. So.
Yeah. But I suppose Nisha also isn't off all that bad in the jungle. With the 2 power runes he had, he was able to farm up at a decent pace. Matthew.
Kobold to scout things out. Waska putting a bit more attention to stacking. I think I saw some stacking there behind the safe lane tower as well that the Dragonite was farming. So, focusing on that, Liquid do have a little bit of stacks going on the triangle as well that Boxy's been putting together. So, if either team can formulate a good invasion party, another power rune for Nisha.
It's difficult to invade, though. Both teams have really good zone control defensively. One side has the Sandstorm and the Tiny, and the other side has Pango.
Dire's bottom tower is under
So
attack.
invasion is very difficult to combat these stacks. And on the side of Liquid, I mean, you're not going to invade to try to steal away that double Ancients, right? It's just not worth it. Whereas Saberlight is going to be farming up a quad stack on the Sand King here with that Sand Shroud, and that is very good news for him.
What do you think about rushing Bloodstone here as opposed to Blink?
I think his concern is if he rushes Blink, he might find an initiation, but he can never get out again. Against Glimpse and against the immediate counter stuns that Waska have from all the heroes. I kind of like this approach. I think what Liquid will try to do is rather than play Blink initiation from that hero, Sand King is going to frontline and be tanky and get jumped on. And that is going to open up the fight for Nisha as well as Mickey to carry the game.
I mean, it seems like their game plan across all of their heroes, because the Tiny is not building a Blink either. He's thinking about Echo Saber, BKB. So Liquid seems to have this idea that we're just going to build to tank up and scale and not try and force things. And if we get to that point, Waska's just going to run out of damage. Toss on to Pike here with the Requiem from behind. Right as the ult is coming in for the Dawnbreaker, it is not going to be enough to save, and the Epicenter is going to be used as well. Sacred is coming into a dangerous spot. Dark Mago glimpsed back onto the SF. Doesn't send him too far away while the Rolling Thunder keeps on hitting Nisha. Nisha's not out of HP just yet. Finally got him, though. Dark Mago is going to need to try and slip away through the portal, though. Jumps up to the high ground.
I don't think he had enough mana.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He is just going to be caught. No way out of this one. That is
went really well.
Yeah. Very different situation that your Dawnbreaker is ulting into this time around.
And I will say, I think 95 out of 100 times, the play that they opened that fight with is just straight up a grief in a pub game. You don't toss in Muerta to gank. But apparently, it worked that time. They get the slow off and the silence on the Dragon Knight. They just run him down, and yeah, like you said, the Dawnbreaker counterplay quite worked.
It is not going to be fun to ult into Sand King, Sandstorm, Epicenter kind of every single time you ult, you know?
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's definitely tough, and that move from Liquid, very successful. They find the kills, they find the tower. The mid tower is also kind of low. And what I was going to say was, I'm not a big fan of this build on Tiny in this meta on mid. I think this hero is Dagger Conda.
Okay.
So
yeah, we did agree on that one, yeah.
So I would hope to see Nisha swap away. So first of all, he did queue up the Blink.
Yeah.
I think Boxer said, you do that one more time, I'm breaking my item. So Nisha's like, okay, bro, I'll get Blink and we'll play normal, okay?
Do you think he thought Saberlight was going to go the Blink? Like, one of us needs to go Blink.
They should have one dagger, and I would rather have it on Tiny, because I think it just fits the hero better, and I would like the Conda. I guess one case here to be made for the right-click build is that you have Bloodlust, which does offset. This makes me a lot more optimistic about it, but I don't know. I still am a bigger fan of Conda despite that. But perhaps he's going to put that to shame when he shows up with Echo BKB Daedalus and just claps people. We'll see, or an AC. But that's, I think, the fact that I need to preface how many items Tiny needs before he feels like a good right clicker, that's part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
You need Echo, you need a dagger because your hero needs to get in. Then you need Echo to do enough burst. But then your attack speed is trash, so you need to buy an attack speed item. But then you don't really hit that hard anymore, so you also need crit. And it's just a long build path for a mid hero in current Dota. It's the type of build that you would expect a carry to go, right? And well, they spend a lot more time farming, but Nisha's responsibility in this game is beyond that. He needs to initiate a lot for his team. But let's see. Bloodstone completed on the Sand King, looking great. Nisha will perhaps find an opening here. Onto Mago, if they have enough follow-up with
He
Bob.
goes and he uses his swashbuckle, gets tossed back even further. All he has to work with is a shield crash and can't get it off. Not with the calling there. Now the Dawnbreaker has jumped into this one. Gets hit by the calling once or twice. Glens back, trying to save. Stabilize. Beautiful entrance into this fight. Toss them together and finish him off. A double kill for the Sand King.
And the mid tower too.
Dire's
Oh
middle
boy.
tower has fallen.
Well, Waska did definitely show up in game number 2 and outplay Liquid, but looks like Liquid have something to prove in this
Dire's
game.
middle tower
They
is
are
under attack.
rolling them right now. 5,000 ahead minute 15, and their lineup has so ridiculously much play potential. We've talked about all the stuns in Waska, but when Liquid's lineup gets going, the heroes are constantly going to be fast moving around the map with Bloodlust. That was actually not even close for Matthew.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a waste there.
I do think
what
Waska's
did he-
gonna have some damage issues. Because a lot of their damage is physical damage, and you've got Ogre, high base armor. Tiny gets a bunch of armor off of Grow.
Yeah.
Huerta has ult, so she's ethereal. And SF is an agility hero.
Yeah.
So, and then Sand King's probably gonna go, what, Bloodstone Shivas?
Yeah, he could also. Yeah, I
Strange
guess so.
manner of conduct.
It's probably the best overall. We'll see if he wants a blink or not. Now that he has the Bloodstone, I think the dagger becomes a lot better because now he can actually stand his ground. If
Yeah.
he blink stuns,
Dire's
pops
bottom
Sandstorm
tower
and
is
Bloodstone,
under
and they go
attack.
on him, that's generally going to be good for the side of Liquid. But he's carrying a BKB. Interesting. Okay. That was not in my top 3, actually. It's definitely a good BKB game. You want it eventually, but I thought he was going to get another ramp-up item
Dire's
first
bottom tower has fallen.
over this.
Well, it's a conservative choice if you're already ahead, so maybe just making sure he
Yeah.
isn't going to die in these fights, which I think is fair enough, but I
Radiant's
definitely
top
feel
tower
like there's
is under
space for
attack.
something a bit more offensive.
Yeah.
Speaking of BKB, Mickey is also going to be getting one, and that'll lead into...
This move from Waska cannot afford to fail, by the way.
Radiant are scanning.
If they get caught off here and lose another fight now, it's trouble. Liquid seem to have a very good idea of their movement.
both teams should kind of know about this because of the Sentry situation, but they're going to go for the SF. Liquid's a little far away from their Shadow Fiend. Dawnbreaker ultimate coming in. They're chain stunning him with the... yeah, they even dropped the ult there. The Static Storm tossed together, though. And they are doing some big damage. They've already finished off one. Dawnbreaker, now the Pango and Pike. He has to just BKB TP out. Matthew stun and TP away. He's barely able to make it out in time, but it looks like Saberlight found the extra kill. Yudomi gets Burrow struck up. Chase after him. He does have TP. The dead shot now used. If he hides away, he
Radiant's
is good.
middle tower is under attack.
So they get the SF, but Liquid were already making a move. So they were in the neighborhood and able to counterplay it. But it's still nice for Waska that play worked out, because from our perspective with the info that we had, that could have been a complete travesty if Liquid got somehow... If they got to move for another 5 seconds so they're a little bit closer there, I think they just completely wiped them and punished that go on SF. But
Yeah.
now it becomes somewhat of an even trade. Now, what was it? So he does go dagger now on the Sand King. So he did change his mind. And now I'm completely on board with the BKB. Now I think it just got way better.
Saberlight not going to be caught. Farming some neutrals over here. Instead, it's the Disruptor who's going to be caught. Alley-oop! Tosses him back into the Sand King for a Burrow Strike stun. And this is just going to be the danger for Waska all the time. Anytime anybody plays alone, could be victim to a tiny +1 combo.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Tiny and Sand King together in the same team is that they set each other up really well. It doesn't really matter who goes first. You just, after the changes to Sand King, where people build like this, you actually do so much damage that if you go first, Tiny will give you enough time to get off all your stuff, and you're going to find extra kills. They find the Blink Stun. He's going to have to BKB here, and Pike, he does it,
Dead
though.
shot. BKB now goes off. And he'll have to TP, pull the Nightfall again.
The Pike.
First 2 BKB charges used to just defensively TP. Can't feel great.
Not great indeed. And it's not only him that's unhappy. The Pango is missing a lot of the purpose of the hero. This is when Pangos from mid, a lot of the time, really set things up and start taking control of the game. He's going to try to get something done against Mickey here, but he did force out the BKB, so that's nice. Mickey doesn't have info to go on about the whereabouts of the other heroes. That was completely safe for him to just walk off, but
yeah, I
was
guess
worried about the combo.
Yeah, Lion could be showing up. In fact, Lion is closing in on a Blink Dagger, so if he gets hit by the Rolling Thunder and then Lion gets 2 disables off, then a Dawnbreaker ult hits him. You're just chain stun. No chance of a counterplay. Dawnbreaker Ultimate will reveal all of Team Liquid's heroes and their positioning. Taking over that triangle area. Lots of vision here from Team Liquid in this area. I'd say they have a triangle of vision around the triangle.
Yep. And it's one of those Dawn ultis that's kind of, or a Dawn innates that's kind of useless because Waska knew where they were already.
True.
This is not surprising. And they were not able to find any pick off of it. Let's see if Liquid want to try to invade the Wisdom, or maybe they want to go on Pike, but no, not happening. They're just going to settle for a trade of everything, it looks like, feeling comfortable that the development in the game is in their favor, and can't disagree with it when you look at the numbers and the flow of the game so far. Waska have been very stifled. Not really much going their way.
I do like the fact that Waska is, it feels like they are getting some farm and they're closing in on some important items. Sacred, he is very close to his Aghanim Scepter. There goes Udomi. Aghanim Scepter for the Dawnbreaker and the Pango. Those are pretty big team fight upgrades that I think are necessary if you want to take a 5-on-5. Right now, Liquid seems a bit too strong.
I don't know if I like this Axe on Dawn Cap. I like it a lot. Oh, he didn't take the Wisdom Rune. TP'd out right in front of it. That's not great.
Boxy. He spooks the Dragonite, and then gets the kill on the line.
A lot of the time, I'm very much in favor of Dawn Axe because I think it's been underpurchased in Dota's pro history. But in this game, I just worry for their damage. Now that Dawn went this, yeah, you can combo break a little bit, but are you actually going to threaten the heroes when they pop their BKB? When you come in, do they care? I think these big boys on Liquid with BKBs, Shadow Fiend and Sand King and the Tiny, are, even if they're not BKB'd, are you going to actually be able to kill them? Dragon Knight is starting to work on damage, that's going to help, but Pango's game is just bad enough that I don't really think Liquid are very concerned and can just, when the Dawn ultis, they can just disengage and not pay much of a price. But we'll see. Do you like it, the Dawn Axe here?
I guess the way I can see it working is if they are saying that we're going to play defensively, we're only going to take a team fight off of, you know, like Liquid initiating on, you know, some tier 2 tower or a high ground defense. And we're just going to farm for our 3rd or 4th items.
Is that a winning strategy against this lineup, though? I don't feel like you're favored by just farming.
Probably not.
SF Tiny with Bloodlust? Are you gonna, do you have the tools?
I mean, Dragonite does become pretty spooky, but
it does.
I do think the Shadow Fiend is the... I mean, if you kind of combine the fact that if we go super late game and we get, you know, start getting some Disruptor, Ags type stuff, then like, sure, maybe. But I do agree with you largely that I feel like Liquid is going to be favored for a solid like 20, 25 minutes in fights. Well, we'll see. We're going to put that to the test here. Smoke up, running into Liquid, who have the Roshan control right now. Insania in this little spot. It's going to break the smoke. Mago's
nice
going to clear out this
movement,
jungle.
actually.
Insania's backing away, and the Rolling Thunder only just now hitting. They do manage to get a glimpse back onto him. Insania's going to die for that. They don't really get much in return here. Waska is also doing this while the Dawnbreaker is still farming the other side of the map, ready to go with the ultimate. Oh, they get the Toss Requiem combo on the Dragon Knight, but here comes that Dawnbreaker ultimate, and it bails out the Dragon Knight. The BKB is used, but as you said, you can survive. Can you do the damage, though? Sacred certainly going to try, going on to Mickey right now, but Pyke doesn't really want any of that action. Toss back onto Sacred while the Epicenter goes down onto the Waska heroes. Saberlight pops his Bloodstone BKB, and he's untouchable for now. Sets it up with a two-man Burrow Strike. Beautiful stuff. Pyke's going to die. Pyke didn't want part of this fight anyway, and now he's been pulled into it, pulled down into his grave, and Mago, he's probably not making out either, hit by an avalanche. Liquid defensively play it out, wait out the BKBs, and win out entirely for the Roshan.
I think that was a very telling situation. They've used the Pango ult to kill the Ogre, and then this 5-on-4, where the Bloodlust isn't even in play, they still lose horribly. Great play, great team fight from Saberlight. I think he used all his stuff very beautifully here. And you're just seeing the damage issues, right? Unless they manage to pile all their heroes onto the same target, they're not gonna like whittle down the Sand King or the SF. It's just not happening. So I think if you've expended the Pango ulti to kill the Ogre, you kind of need to wait.
Yes.
I think that ability is just too important for your teammates to be able to execute a fight correctly.
I thought it was going to be a good situation for Waska, just because it was like, okay, you reset, but if Liquid doesn't feel comfortable taking Roshan, then that's just a bunch of time where you have an advantage because Dawnbreaker's farming, right? But they found that initiation, they found that sick toss into Requiem, which unfortunately for Liquid they didn't get the point blank Requiem, but I guess the team fight worked out in the end, and now they're going to get the Rosh.
It's also difficult because you can't try for the perfect Requiem unless you have guaranteed lockdown. When you start with the toss, if you want to get the perfect Requiem and he gets to land, he will BKB. Yeah. And you're going to do nothing. True. So. And I think the toss was far enough that he couldn't Eva on it, so he had to just... I think that was the way they had to do that there, and it worked just fine. And it was, honestly, it was a cool idea to begin with. Yeah, it was. To go for that play. So, nicely done. We'll reward them a teamfight victory and an Aegis.
They take the Roshan, and now they're just immediately on the other side of the map. Even if they don't find anything, it is limiting where Waska can farm and what they can do here. Trying to go for Saberlight? Maybe.
I think he's just dead. He doesn't have BKB. He has
doesn't have BKB.
No
he does have Bloodstone. They're chain stunning him up. Oh no, Nisha. Oh. He got both the supports. That stops all the damage.
I don't know why I thought Waska were bringing another hero, because I could see them the whole time, and those three just don't kill.
I also thought maybe there was a Finger of Death coming, but that's still on cooldown.
Yeah, that play, in my mind, I keep them in high enough regard that when I see them initiate there, I expect that they're bringing the hero that's going to contribute to actually getting the kill, because they weren't even close with the ones that they brought. Lion, Disruptor don't do very much damage unless Finger is ready. They didn't have it. And this is a Starved Pango, and you're going on a mega farmed Sand King. And I think they had Dawn ulti, and they didn't use it. So the comms also can't have been great there either. It just leaves a lot to be desired, Waska. That the last game was so good that we're expecting more greatness, but this game has been a bit of a miss for me.
It seems like... I feel like some teams played better when they're the aggressors. Some teams feel better when they're, being defensive. Yeah. Seems like Liquid's aggression has just put them on the back foot, and they're kind of stumbling. They just cannot seem to get their feet steady on the ground. And rushed moves like that are usually a sign of, things not quite being right.
You could also argue that it's a bit of a sign of the problems that they have strategically with the draft. Their players really want to make moves, but they just don't have enough damage in the tank.
Sure.
So it begs the question, did you itemize correctly? Did you select the right fights when you were strong enough to actually kill them, or did you give them too much breathing room? Well, the answers are you're in trouble.
Radiant structures are
Yeah, you've got an MKB, 2.5 minutes on the Aegis, level 20 talent, so the SF is big peaking right now when it comes to damage. His damage compared to anything Waska can do pales in comparison, and the counter to that would be, of course, jumping him and chain stunning him, but if he has an Aegis, feels impossible to do so. Waska may just have to give up on a lane here.
Liquid aren't going to stop, though. They've barely taken damage, so they can just go next lane. You're going to have to defend eventually. What are you buying time for by not defending that lane? Is the mid lane going to be easier? Definitely not if you've lost your Dawn already.
Yep, already gone. He does have buyback in the ult.
Mickey is hitting like a truck. Only one in the lasting presence.
I mean, I see nothing on the docket here when I'm looking at gold and quick buys.
If you have no big
For
item
Waska.
coming up, you should defend the first lane. Because then the conditions aren't going to change for the second lane, and you're just playing at a bigger disadvantage.
Yeah.
And now you... Okay, I just don't... I don't know. They're just losing the game. How long's left on the Aegis? Minute and 15. They're not even close to outlasting that. So Waska looking a little bit hopeless here. Now they will be forced to fight, but they could just BKB Megas now.
They could. Are they going to? Rolling Thunder on in. Liquid backing up a little bit. The SF is a little bit low. Still has that second life.
This Pango roll is doing nothing.
Tried to hit it with a Burrow Strike as he came out of the Rolling Thunder. It kind of worked, but the Dawnbreaker ultimate is covering. Saberlight's going to drop that epicenter. So that means Sacred is jumping into an ultimate, and it hurts real bad. Saberlight, nice two-man Burrow Strike in the backline as well. Helps kill Sacred. Disrupts Waska's backline so they can easily deal with whatever is coming their way. Buybacks are coming, but Megas is already achieved. And now it's Waska's turn to deal with pre-30-minute Megas.
Let's see if they can last as long as Liquid did in the previous game.
Well, they got 15 seconds on the Aegis.
Yeah.
Nikkei is going to back out. Are we going to get a glimpse? No.
So gotta watch out for the toss back here, Waska. Nisha's on the prowl. He almost has his Conda finished now as well, by the way. So he just will still go it after getting Echo BKB. So he's still valuing that over a Daedalus, despite having Bloodlust.
Yeah, it's going to be big bursts because you also had the Shivas being done for the Sand King. So you're amping up a bunch of magic damage that is already pretty overwhelming.
All right, Cap, it's time for the big question.
Uh-huh.
Is this 99 or is it 100? Because it's not. There's no way it's anything else.
Yeah, this one is more one-sided for sure. I would say it is 100.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess as well. It's 98. Good job.
You promised me it was 99 or 100.
I cannot see a world where there's 2% here, but
I don't either.
maybe Waska can show us the 2%, even if they don't pull anything off in the terms of comeback. They can show why Gaben believes. It's time to
do it for him.
Yep. Here comes the Fast Fiend. Bonking away at everything. And Liquid. It's funny how maybe they should just first pick Ogre. It just seems like all their best games they have Ogre. So just pick Ogre. You're just winning every time.
Take the man.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Waska trying to get behind. They will get the initiation on Mickey. Dawnbreaker ultimate. They already forced staffed away. The epicenter again. He's going to be landing in it. It's not fun for Sacred. Now it's going to be a Requiem too. He's sandwiched between double ults. And Waska will GG out. Liquid keep their hopes a bit more alive for DreamLeague with another win